hello again. Just going to do a bit of audio maintenance again, just to see if everything's okay. Let's see. Oh, I've got my sound here muted. Oh, I've got my sound here muted. Oh, I've got my sound here. Okay, that actually sounds real good, I think. I'll wait until we get some viewers and see, or some commenters in chat, and see how they think of it. But based on what I can hear, it sounds pretty good. Also trying to angle myself so you guys can see my shoulders and the tip of my head, because the most important part about my entire body is the very tip of my head. Okay, hold on a second. Let me try this one last time. Just gonna speak for a little bit, unmute here, you're gonna hear an echo, and then mute this. For a little bit, speak for a little bit, unmute here, you're gonna hear an echo, and then mute this. For a little bit, speak for a little bit, unmute here, you're gonna... Okay, now I'm gonna let the game audio go just a little bit, then I'm going to speak at the end of it. Okay, let's hear this. Okay, let's hear this. Okay, this sounds really good, actually. I think I'm happy that I went through all that effort. So, yeah, that should be... Okay, that should be good. Nice, I'm happy. I'm happy. Okay, let's, What am I doing? You know what, let me change my stream title here. Because I want to do, let's see. Deck building for Melodious. Arc 5 story critique and design talk. Okay, let's do that. I wanna... Okay. The stream title updated, I hope? Let's whoops, let's not press that button, hold on a second. Okay, so I have a few comments to make about the design of Yu-Gi-Oh! That I'm sure we'll get to as we're going through. So, I feel tired for some reason after doing all of that. Also going to make sure my clothing isn't hanging off of me in a way that makes me seem like an unkempt hobo. I am most definitely unkempt, but I am not a hobo, as you can see around me. Also, lighting. Lighting okay? Okay, I always feel like my camera is a bit blurry. Nice, let's do this. Alright, cool. So, let's take a look back into our deck. And we're gonna remind ourselves what our deck does. So we have a couple of Mozartas. Do we have a third Mozarta? We do not have a third Mozarta, so we need to finish our Melodious deck. So we're gonna go ahead... Oh, I don't like that sound. That's, I'm gonna do settings. Sound effects? I think it's sound effects, right? Yeah, okay, I like that. X to check the field. Hold backspace to auto skip prompts. Hold enter to show prompts. I feel like that's what we want. Computer decide when to auto skip. Let's try out Pro for now, and we're gonna do. Actually, let's see if we have any multiplayer people. Find match. Let's use Melodious. No game was found. Okay, let's do ranked match. Find match. Any Melodious. Oh, there's someone playing here. Ranked match single, 3 minutes time limit. Let's try it at least, right? Oops, I don't want to press those. Oh cool, we're in a game. Okay. This is great. I have this weird thing where whenever I get the sense of... Or whenever I engage in PvP, like, I can feel the acid in the pit of my stomach. For some bizarre reason. Alright, we're not using a deck that we're overly familiar with, but we're just gonna see what we have, right? Okay, so we start off with all of these, huh? Let's see, we have Forbidden Chalice. Target one face up mon negate its effects, but it gains 400 attack. Okay. Okay, we're going to start off by summoning Opera. And then we'll set here. And, let's see, do we want to go into a Melodious? I'm fine not going into a Melodious. Let's pass turn. I don't want to use all of my resources at the same, at once, basically. My nerves are still very much a thing. I don't feel the acid in the pit of my stomach anymore. Though I do feel like... Though I do have extreme anxiety when it comes to playing PvP. Oh, playing against Monarchs, huh? Okay, gonna tribute my monster. Very nice. Very nice. There's a time limit, right? Yeah, it's down here in the... you guys can't see necessarily all the way down there. So let's up that. Return to game. Okay, let's see what he's gonna do. He's playing Monarchs, it seems. We found ourselves a PvP game. Let's see, my hand, not shaking. Okay, fantastic. I don't know why I have such extreme PvP anxiety. I'm trying to get through it. And, it's... Honestly, it feels atrocious. I don't know how to explain it. It just feels atrocious. Okay. Is he just gonna, like, waste time? Well... Cool, I guess. I got an achievement. Pro duel? Okay, cool. I guess that if it's the same person, we're not gonna do... we're not dueling him. He timed out last time, so, you know. Let's just do some single player duel challenges. Let's do Arc 5 stuff. We've already fought everyone in Arc 5. Let's go to Zexal. Let's try an Astral. Astral uses Utopia Force. Okay, let's try this. I think I do want to turn up the sound effect volume again, just a little bit. So we'll go first, because going first seems to be the best thing to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, and we're in Barian World, huh? Nice. Take me to the pause menu. Let's go to help and options. Let's change settings, and let's turn sound effects up twice. Okay, there we go. Resume game, and let's, okay, we start off with first movement solo, which is fantastic. Oh, dude. Okay, dude. Dude. We play this. We go into Aria. Not the Aria in our hand, though. The Aria in our deck, please. We go into Aria. Should have done her in defense mode. And then we special summon Cannon. Cannon comes to the field in defense mode. Once per turn, I can target one Melodious monster I control, change its battle position, but I can't target Melodious monsters because Aria was summoned. And then we'll just summon Opera, just for the heck of it. All right. I did play against a Monarch deck recently. I think the Monarch deck was it in Duel Links? Did I play? Oh no, we played it on here. I remember. It was Sawatari's challenge deck. Okay, he's going into a rank 4 play. Probably Utopia, if I'm to guess. Oh. Fire Hand as well. Fire Hand, when it's destroyed, it destroys the monster, right? Target one monster they control. He can't target me, though. And my monsters can't be destroyed by battle. What's he trying? He's summoning Utopia in defense mode. Interesting play. There we go. Very oh, now he's going into, what? Utopia Ray? Yeah, Utopia Ray. Also not going to help you out, my friend. I was about to call you girl. You're not a girl. Dude, how sick would it be? Oh, rank up Magic Variant Astral Force, is that? Numeron Force. Okay, there's so many forces. Going into Utopia Ray Victory. Again, you can't target my monsters. A Zero Strike? You can attack all of my monsters. What? 15... Wait, you actually destroyed me? Oh, my monster's effects are negated thanks to Astral Force. Interesting. Okay. Sorry, thanks to Numeron code. Alright, well, that just got interesting. Let's see. I think we're screwed. Let's go sent to the graveyard. Okay. We need a... Okay, yeah, I think we're screwed. We will set Tam Tam here, because Tam Tam has a pretty high defense score. Okay, if I summoned my monsters in defense mode, we wouldn't have taken as much damage. Battle phase. It's not going to work. You're going to have to attack me with Utopia. Alright. Ooh, Super Poly. Oh, but we can't play Super Poly. What could we go into, though, if we theoretically did go into Super Poly? Nothing. We'd need to have 2 Dark Monsters on the field, and he doesn't have any Dark Monsters right now. So I guess for right now, we're going to have to try and defend, right? I mean, next turn, though, he's going to destroy us. So, okay, I think we fail. Let's surrender and let's try again. Okay, so what got us? That Numeron Force definitely got us. So we're going to try this again with the Melodious. What the heck? Level 12? Was that a Raid Raptor card? I thought Ultimate Falcon was the best Raid Raptor, but there's like a Fortress monster that's ranked 12? What? Anyway. Okay, we start off with 3 copies of Condemned Witch. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. We play Condemned Witch, sure. Condemned Witch will search for something. What would be best for, can it be targeted by or destroyed by other card effects? Effects are negated. Loses a 600 attack. Yeah, we'll get Forbidden Dress. And then we will set Forbidden Dress and we pass our turn. Now, during his main phase, we can tribute our monster. As a quick effect. Okay, he's doing his Xyz plays again. What's the chance that he has another Numeron Force? Whoa, hey, what? Oh no, this is because of Pro. Okay, we need to change that. Help on options, change settings, do simple. Hold backspace to restore. Okay, I see. So let's see, if I hold backspace, will that allow me to respond to anything? No, it's not allowing me to respond to anything. If I hold enter, it works. Okay, I see. Oops. Oh well, we have another one though, which is fine. We summon Condemned Witch. Okay, Condemned Witch will activate her effect. We'll go ahead and go into Forbidden Chalice. We'll set Forbidden Chalice and we pass our turn. Hopefully simple will allow us to engage in our stuff, right? I think it's enter that I can press. Yeah, it's enter. Not backspace like it suggests. Okay, you're going into Utopia Ray. Don't tell me you have Numeron Force. That would be frustrating. Although we can chain... We should be able to chain... What? Condemned Witch. This is a quick effect? Yeah. Rank up Magic Barion's Force. Let's see, what does Barion's Force do? Detach an Xyz material from... Okay, that's fine. So, okay, we wait until he tries to blow us up with Utopia Ray Victory. Opponent special summoned a monster? No, that's fine. Going into Azura Strike. Gains 1000 attack, and it can attack everyone once each. I see. Monster's being equipped? No, not yet. Going into Sleipnir Mail. Gains another 1000 attack. When this card you control is sent to your graveyard, target one Utopia monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay? And then you summon Honest. Okay, sure. Before the end of the main phase, I would like to activate Condemned Witch. Chain another card or effect. No, not yet. We'll go into Aria, I believe. Let's see. Discard a special summon while you control a Melodious monster. It's not the case. If it's sent to the graveyard as fusion material, also not the case. What about Serenade? Nope, Serenade won't help. Tam Tam? Nope. Soprano. Nope. Okay, so yeah, it looks like we're going into Aria. We'll go into Aria. Aria in defense mode. Honest effect will activate. I will choose to negate your monster's effect. But its effects are negated. So we play this, we negate Honest. Use Book of Moon on Honest. Well, I get the same solution, right? Can it be targeted by or destroyed by other card effects? Okay, well, that won't help us out. When Forbidden Chalice happens, Honest effect negates itself because he's not on the field to resolve. Okay, cool. We get another Condemned Witch, and we get the Deep Grave. So we'll set the Deep Grave. That's something we can activate at the end of our opponent's turn. This card is normal summoned, add a Forbidden Quick Play. Tribute this card, special summon 1 level 4 fairy monster from your deck, except Condemned Witch. We'll play. I don't think he can activate Astral or Numeron code right now. Oh, we can go into a rank 4. Dude, we can go into Dark Rebellion, Xyz Dragon. Or Silent Honor Arc. Wow. Do you have an effect? When this card declares an attack, yada yada, okay. And you can attack everyone once per turn. And you, when this card you control is sent to the graveyard because the equipped monster was destroyed by your opponent's card by battle or card effect. So this won't happen if I bring out Honor Arc. If I bring out Honor Arc, like, it's not destroyed. Like, this card will be destroyed. This Sleep Near Mail will be destroyed. But it won't get its effect off. So I can just take it, right? I think Honor Arc... Does Honor Arc can... Okay, Honor Arc doesn't transfer materials. But we're going to go into Honor Arc. We'll use Aria and Condemned Witch. Although that's our last Condemned Witch. The first one we couldn't use because we had Pro on. Okay, we go into Honor Arc. we get rid of his ace monster. Do 1, 2. Buckle my shoe. 3, 4. Leave through the door. Yep, all of those are gone. Those are also destroyed. Very nice. And then we could Deep Grave his monster. Okay. We attack the face down card here. You now have no cards on your... at all in your possession. Like, just none. Okay, next question though is what do we bring back? Man, I wish we could look, you know. Yes, let's look. Aria, perhaps? I mean, I guess the only thing we have is Aria. Alright, Honest. We could do Utopia Ray or Utopia. I guess Utopia Ray would be better. Yeah, I guess Utopia Ray would be the best bet, right? So, okay, we'll play this and we'll bring out Utopia Ray. I know it means we won't be able to get any fusion plays, although we might get some fusion plays. Not with first movement solo, we won't. Okay. We'll summon Aria, right? Yeah, let's summon Aria. Has 1600, that's perfectly fine. And then we hit for, what, 46, 52. 5200. Should leave him at, like, what, 2800? If I remember right? If I can do my head maths right? Yeah, this will look like 28. 18! Oh, man, my mathematics is wrong. I want to become, like, I want to start doing some tutoring stuff in real life, right? But, like, my maths is bad. I don't necessarily need to teach maths. Like, the only other thing that I could teach is philosophy. But I feel like philosophy really isn't in demand at all. If this card's into the graveyard for fusion material, you can target one Melodious monster you control. Okay, yeah, you do that, I see. Okay, we summon you. I mean, we've won. We might as well fusion summon something, though. Let's try it out. Fusion summon. Bring out Schuberta. Go ahead and fuse these two. Okay, so what was the problem here? So we did draw a first movement solo. I guess there's not much we can do about that other than limiting the amount of first movement solos that we get, right? Won't use Tam Tam. We'll just go ahead and blow him up with his own monster. We will try this battle again, though. But yeah, so some of the things that my friend and I were discussing. We, what was that? Some of the things my friends and I were discussing, we were talking about Yu-Gi-Oh cards, right? And Magic cards. He's a huge Magic the Gathering player. I played Magic the Gathering because he introduced me to it. And we've been playing online over Tabletop Simulator. And it's interesting. Like, I can definitely see... I don't know what was first. I think Magic was first, and then Yu-Gi-Oh was after Magic. Like, was made after Magic. Oh, we started with Valhalla in our hand. Interesting. Once per turn, target one Melodious monster, change the battle position. Okay. Okay, we can do this. Just realized there's a bit of a, inconsistency between Valhalla and Burst Movement Solo. So either I can special summon a level 4 low Melodious monster from my hand or deck with Burst Movement Solo, but I cannot special summon anything else other than Melodious monsters. That's not a problem at all. What's Fortissimo? Target a Melodious monster I control, gain 800 attack until my next standby fades, and I can send this to the graveyard to fusion summon one Melodious monster using materials I control. Okay, so we'll use Valhalla, and we'll use it on Opera. Oh, well, okay, looks like we're gonna do something else, right? Not a problem. We can just use first movement solo, I don't mind. Dude, we use first movement solo, right? And we go into Aria. And then we sack Aria into... let's see. What's this card we have in our hand? Cannot be targeted by or destroyed by other card effects. I'm thinking, if he does Astral... if he does Numeron Code, we might be in a bit of trouble. How can we counter a Numeron Code play? When the special summon, target the Melodious monster in your graveyard. We don't have any in our graveyard. We only have... Okay. We'll just go into Aria, I guess. Let's go into Aria. Aria can't be destroyed by battle. Or card effects. We will go into Fortissimo. And don't need to use Forbidden Dress yet. Once per turn, target one Melodious monster. Oh, it can't be targeted! She can't be targeted! Okay, we might as well also go into Cannon the Melodious Diva. Well, I do want to do that now. Oh, we can't turn back. There needs to be some quality of life improvements in this game. Although I don't think they're gonna be updating this game anytime soon, because I've heard there's a new game on the horizon. We're going to attack here. Your monster's destroyed. And it didn't get its effect. Destroyed by an opponent's card. Target one monster they control. Ah, because they can't target me, they can't get their second effect off. I see. Okay. Gonna do another quick audio check here because I'm pretty paranoid. Gonna go ahead and mute this and then take a listen to my stream. Mute this and then take a listen to my stream. Okay, that sounds real good. Got it. Nice. Select effect to activate. I could activate Forbidden Dress. Don't want it though. Okay, he's going into a rank 4 Exceeds play. Let me see. Oh, I got a message from someone. Oh, one of my friends got into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Just gonna go ahead and send him a few messages here. I know you can't see this. Okay, there we go. Opponent succeeds in special... I mean, we know what's going on. He's going to bring out his Xyz monster. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Every time I click off this window, it brings up that pause menu. So that's why you see it coming up seemingly randomly every time. Alright, going into Utopia, as usual. But not going to stay around for long. He's going to go into Utopia Ray, and then hopefully he doesn't go into Numeron's Force. If he does, I'm going to be a bit upset. Because that's going to negate everything on the field as long as it's on the field. Oh, Sleipnir Mail, huh? That's not bad. Dude, if I had done Forbidden Dress, he couldn't have targeted his monster. Would that have worked? The monster would already have been targeted, though. Oh, we get Mazarta. Nice. But we can't bring out Mazarta yet. Wait, how can I use... Oh, Fortissimo's second effect. This is why it's highlighted. I can't use Fortissimo's effect to increase my monster's attack, because Arya is out on the field, and Arya wouldn't allow that to happen. Let's see, what do we do here? Can I be sure about battle or other card effects? Okay, we go... Clearly what we do is we go into someone. I mean, one of the best things we can do is go into Silent Honor Arc. I feel cheaty, though, if I do that. Like, I feel like that's just too good of a play, and it's not a Melodious play. I want to try and make a Melodious play. But if not, then we'll just go into Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon instead, because that's pretty cool. Special summon Light Fairy monster from your hand. Cannot special summon other monsters the turn you activate the spec, except for... Well, the problem with that is this isn't gonna... Wait, we could go into Bloom Doom. We can go into Bloom Doom, though. So we tribute these two. Bring out Mazarta. Mazarta, if we give it 800 attack, it'll go down to, what, 3,400. Which won't be enough to beat over this. What does this do? Because it's destroyed by your opponent's card, target one Utopia monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Let's take a look at what options we have in terms of our fusion monsters. So we have Bloom Prima. Card can make a second attack during each battle phase. If this fusion summon card is sent to the graveyard, target one Melodious monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So it gains 300 attack for each fusion material used for its summon. And it can make its second attack. But that won't be enough to get over that monster's attack. Whereas if we go into Bloom Doom, here, cannot be destroyed by battle card effects, take no battle damage involving this card. If this card battles a special summon monster after damage count, you can inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference between the original attack of that opponent's monster and this card, and if you do, destroy that opponent's monster. Means he will be able to get out his big monster. So, we'll mean that he can go into another, you know... Well, let's try it. We'll try it. We know how to get past him, but we just wanted to try this one for fun. If we go into Dark Rebellion Xyz... No, if we go into Silent Honor Arc, then it just shuts him down completely. But we'll do Mazarta. Mazarta will special summon Opera. Special summon it from the hand. Okay, and then we use Fortissimo. Fortissimo we will send to the graveyard. Monsters on our field, and we will bring out Bloom Doom. Here we go. Alright, but yeah, about card effects and card designs. Like, one thing that does often come up when we're talking about differences between Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Is that card designs are different between the two. If you ignore the fact that there's, you know, colors in Magic. Yeah, use Bloom Diva, please. If you ignore the fact that there's colors in Magic, and, like, colors kind of define, you know, the designs that you need, then it's, I don't know what my point there is, but basically colors define the, like, to a certain extent, the design of certain cards in the in Magic, right? Like red cards typically like might involve sacrificing, might involve, you know, destroying things or removing things, or might be burn. You know, green tends to be like, you know, elves. It tends to be like growth, I guess. We'll summon Condemned Witch here. And also it has pretty beefy monsters, right? Activate Condemned Witch, please. And in Yu-Gi-Oh! You don't really have that much, like, in the way of that, right? Like, light monsters don't tend to do the things that light monsters say they do. Or, like, there's no, like... I mean, light monsters... I guess you can make an argument that light monsters tend to give you life points. But take a look at this. Bloom Prima... Bloom Diva here is a light monster. She doesn't give you life points at all. Like, her effect is discontinuous from her attribute, right? So, like, you know... Can't be destroyed by battle or other card effects. That's not really a light thing, is it? And if this card is special summoned, or battles a special summoned monster, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the difference. Oh, is that only if it battles a special summoned monster? Interesting. Need to keep an eye on that. But yeah, no, like, you see, like, also Dark. Like, Dark doesn't necessarily do anything either. Like, the attributes kind of mean nothing in terms of the design of the card, other than to go along with the aesthetic of the theme, I guess. To go along with the aesthetic of the archetype and the, like, maybe it might do an effect, but, like, the archetype and, like, what the creature is. Like, if you look at her, you can be like, okay, she's definitely dark. You might make a case for light, you know, she looks like a fallen angel of some kind. And, like, the whole Fabled archetype is about, like, fallen angels and such. And, like, tricksters and mischief stuff. So, you know. And they're all light monsters, so, you know, maybe. You might also make a case for, I don't know. I guess I could see this being Earth. Can't really see it being wind or whatever. But, like, the attribute isn't necessarily indicative of what the card does. And neither is the type. Like, this thing is a fairy. Why is it a fairy? What do fairies do? Fairies typically closely associated with light, normally. And go ahead and have you attack here. Typically associated with, like, light. But, like, other than that, you get, like, the equip cards, like Fairies, Light, and all that kind of stuff. But you have equip cards for, like, pretty much everything along those lines. Target loses 600 attack. Cannot be destroyed by other card effects. Sure, we'll activate it since it's going to be blown up. We'll activate it on here. But attributes and types don't really matter much at all. Are you actually gonna XC summon using those things? Wow, the madman. You're going into Utopia? Of course you're going into Utopia. Because Utopia is your favorite card. So, like, yeah, Utopia is a light warrior monster, right? Doesn't really mean anything other than, you know, what he is. Like, look at him. If you're like, okay, what... If you look at this artwork, and you're like, what is, you know, what is this thing? You might say warrior, you might say machine. You could say it's a light monster, because it's got all the gold on it and the white. Yeah, like, that's pretty much what the warrior section and what the light section mean. There are, like, supports for, like, whole archetypes and everything. We'll use Condemned Witch's effect. Go out into Aria. We could have gone into something else because we have a Melodious monster on the field. You're Melodious Choir, huh? Not a Melodious Maestra. Interesting. What's the other one? Is the other one a Melodious Maestra? You are a Melodious Maestra. Oh, but Bloom Prima is a Melodious... Okay, I see. Don't have anything for there. Okay, well, we'll turn Aria to attack mode. Effects are negated. So, okay, look at this. We go into battle. We attack here. Utopia's effect activates. I will chain with Forbidden Chalice. Nice. This is a Utopia counter right here. Chalice's effect is negates Utopia's. Utopia gains even more attack, which means we do more damage with Bloom Diva. Bada boom. And we attack with Aria, and what do you know? Hey presto. 1900. Okay. But what really does define, like, monsters and their effects and, like, cards is the archetype that they're in. But also, more importantly, let's see... Okay. But also, more importantly, like, archetypes and, not necessarily more importantly, but something else that's interesting to think of. I can't use Diffusion because I have Aria out. That's interesting. One other thing to think about is also if they serve something in the anime or in the manga. Like, there are cards that are designed to, like, fulfill a specific role in a specific time in the anime or manga. Like, thinking about things like, first, like, biggest thing that comes to mind is the Ajamas. And, like, their connection with, like, the VW XYZ and the, let me see if I can show you some examples. So we go into not card shop, we go into deck edit. We go over, yeah, we go over here. And let's do Ajama. Where is it? Is it this one? Ajama Pajama? Yeah, look. Like, Ajama Pajama. If an armed dragon monster and or a light machine fusion monster would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish an Ajama card from your hand face up field or graveyard instead. It's like, why, how is it that the Ajamas are helping? Why do Ajamas get this power, again, with only these targets, right? And the answer is Chaz Princeton. Like, this card, I don't know if Chaz Princeton actually used this card ever. I'll go ahead and actually check that up here. Ajama Pajama. Let's see, does it have any appearances? Was this ever used in the anime? Never used in the anime. Let me take a look at the trivia. It's a pun on Pajama Party. Okay, yeah, coulda guessed that. Okay, but generally nothing else. I'm gonna take a sip of my fizzy drink here, or as you like to call it in America, a soda. It's diet, so I'm healthy. That's how that works, right? Anyway. But yeah, Ajama Pajama doesn't make sense in itself. And like, what is it about the Ajamas having a party that helps them protect these other monsters? Like, it doesn't make sense. It does not make sense! Like, look at this art. Where is a light machine fusion monster depicted in this art? Where is an armed dragon depicted in this art? Nowhere. How does this card make sense? It makes sense only if you know that Chaz Princeton played all three of these and somehow made it work in a deck in the anime, right? And it doesn't work at all in reality. Like, it's a really bad combination. Each one of those archetypes is completely distinct from each other. There is no overlap between them. Another example, which I mentioned, I think last stream, was this one. Crystal Rose. So we take a look at Crystal Rose, right? And we see that it says, once per turn, send one Gem Knight or Melodious monster from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Why? It doesn't necessarily make too much sense why it works with both of those. Though, in the case of Crystal Rose, you can see you can kind of envision it. Like, it's not too much of a stretch to say that this is either a Gem Knight card or a Melodious card. But there might also be, like, other archetypes that this could also be, you know, seen in, based on just the design of the art. Like, I don't know. What else could this be? This could be... I don't know. I feel like there are other ones that can be used, but I can't think of them right now. Like, any... I don't know. But then, like, the rest of its effect, right, is, send a Gem Knight or Melodious card from your deck or hand to the graveyard, and then this card's name becomes the name of the sent monsters, right? And then it has a recycle effect, so it can come back. What is it about it being a Crystal Rose that allows it to come back? And what about being a Crystal Rose is it that allows it to send a card from your deck to your graveyard? Now, I can imagine, you know, it you know, reflects the image of whatever card that you send, right? That's how it convinces other... Well, that's how it changes its name. So that's not so bad. I guess. But it still requires a little bit of effort. But why is this card a thing? The reason why it's a thing is because in the anime, Julia gives this card to Yuzi. I know I'm mixing the dub and sub name, don't worry about it. But Julia gives this to Yuzu after their second match in which Yuzu wins. So, like, other than that, there's no overlap between these two archetypes. So this card literally, like, the design of this card is only so that that scene could have happened in the anime. So this card's design serves that specific scene. And there's a bunch of other cards that go along with it. I know it's not necessarily, you know, a scene-defining card, but this card, Attack the Moon. Attack the Moon was made after the fact, of course, and it's actually a reference to the anime, not vice versa. But there's that. What else is there? I feel like there's a bunch of other cards as well. There's actually a Reddit post on this, and I would put it in chat, but yeah, I'll go ahead and put it in chat. Where is it? Let's see. Yu-Gi-Oh! There we go. Do this one. Do this one. Okay, so I'll put this in chat. I know you guys on YouTube won't be able to see this, but it's a Reddit post in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Reddit entitled "Cards with Weird Effects That Only Make Sense Because Anime References." And it's basically talking about things that only make sense because of references to the anime. And there they say, like, Attack the Moon works, and then this card. Let's see if we have it. Yeah, Ultimate Zolkin. It only, like, he says that this user, Oporia Paradox, says that it allows you to special summon a level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro monster, or a Power Tool monster. And, you know, that's actually, like, very specific, right? So, you see, you can special summon one Power Tool Synchro monster, or one level 7 or 8 Dragon Synchro monster from your extra deck. Why only those two specifically? And the answer is to serve a scene in the anime, right? Or in the manga as well. I think this card was used in the manga. And like it basically is it's the Crimson Dragon that summons, you know, the other dragons, right? And there's lore in here that's explained by the anime, I guess. But this card, like, its design is served only for the purpose of the anime. And if you didn't know that, this card's effect is quite confusing. What is it about this dragon that, you know, makes it, you know, summon these other monsters? It's a bit confusing. And I think if we take a look here at Shadol's, like, this is a good example as well. Like, Shadol Beast. Its effect is flip, you can draw 2 cards, then discard a card. And if this card is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you can draw 1 card. And then you can only use this once per turn. That I wouldn't really consider a lore effect, should I say. But, like, what is it about Shadol Beast that, when it's flipped up, allows you to draw 2 cards and discard 1, right? And what is it about Shadol Beast that allows you to draw a card when it's sent to the graveyard? It doesn't seem to make sense. But if you look at cards in Magic, and my friend used the example of Young Pyromancer, I think it was. Let's see if I got this right. Young Pyromancer MTG. Okay, Young Pyromancer is a red card, right? It's a red card with a mana cost. If these terms aren't making sense to you, don't worry. But it requires 1 red mana and 1 generic mana, right? Or 1 mana of any color. And it's a creature, it's a human shaman, and its effect is whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 red elemental creature token. And so the thing is that, for me, it took me a moment to figure out what that meant. But my friend kindly explained it to me. He was like, okay, so Young Pyromancer is, you know, a red card and he's a Pyromancer. And Pyromancers tend to do stuff with, you know, sorcery spells or instant spells. So that makes sense. He's a Pyromancer and he does stuff with sorcery or instant spells. And then he's a young Pyromancer, so he conjures up red elementals, and red is like fire, basically, in this instance. Red represents fire. So it makes sense. He's a young Pyromancer, so he wants to summon a, whenever a Pyromancer would do something, which would be in sorcery or in response to sorcery or instant spells, he summons a monster. He summons a token, right? So that makes sense. Like, his effect kind of characterizes him. And it makes sense lore-wise. Like, I would consider it a lore effect. But, take a look here. Like, Ghost Tricks are a good example of this in Magic as well. Oh, the Magic thing I was talking about with Young Pyromancer in Ghost Tricks. In Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, Ghost Tricks and Subterrors are good examples of this happening in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, these effects do kind of make sense. So Ghost Tricks have, like, their whole premise is they appear. They try and trick you and try and scare you. Like, Ghost Trick is in the name. Ghost Trick Doll cannot be normal summoned unless you control a Ghost Trick monster. To me, that tells me that they like to appear with other monsters, right? Like, you can't just summon them. They won't just go boo at you immediately. They need to either have a friend there, or they need to be put there by a special means. So you can't just summon them. But you can set them, which means that they're primed to scare you next turn. And I like that. That's a lore effect I would consider. And Ghost Trick Doll, once per turn... I mean, this is all, like, once per turn you can flip any Ghost Trick monster face down, right? Or at least these weaker monsters. When this card is flipped face up during the end phase, change as many face up monsters on the field as possible to face down defense mode. That, I don't exactly know why. Why that is. I don't know what it is specifically about Ghost Trick Doll that, explains that. I guess it's, it causes them to all cower in fear, right? But Ghost Trick Doll isn't necessarily scary. So I don't necessarily see a Blue Eyes White Dragon, being scared of this monster. Although that's a hilarious image. I don't see a Blue Eyes White Dragon being scared of this Ghost Trick Doll when it's flipped face up, right? And then you can special summon one Ghost Trick monster from your deck in face down defense mode. So Ghost Trick Doll flips the opponent's monsters face down, and then, or flips everyone face down and then summons another Ghost Trick monster, which is good. Now let's go to Ghost Trick Jack Frost. Now Jack Frost likes to, let's see. When an opponent's monster declares a direct attack, you can change that monster to face down defense mode and then special summon this card. So I guess you can envision that as, Ghost Trick Jack Frost comes on out from your hand and protects you by covering the opponent in snow. I guess that makes sense. I can envision that. Ghost Trick Lantern. Let's see Ghost Trick Lantern. When an opponent's monster declares an attack or when a Ghost Trick monster you control is targeted for an attack, you can negate the attack and special summon this card from your hand in face down defense mode. So Ghost Trick Lantern literally, appears in the way and goes boo, negates the attack, probably, indicative of it startling the opponent's monster, right? And then it vanishes. I like that. I like that. That is also a lore effect. I like that. And let's do Ghost Trick Mary. So, same Ghost Trick effect as normal. When you take damage, you can discard this card, special summon a Ghost Trick monster from your deck in face down defense mode. So this, I can envision this. So if you take damage, you've broken Ghost Trick Mary's mirror. And then you release the Ghost Trick monster that's inside Ghost Trick Mary's mirror, which would be any Ghost Trick monster. So I can definitely envision that, right? So you discard this card from your hand, the mirror is broken, and then you special summon a Ghost Trick monster from your deck in face down defense mode. That makes a ton of sense. Now let's go to Ghost Trick Mummy. Ghost Trick Mummy allows you to normal summon another monster. Why? I don't know. Ghost Trick Mummy probably... Oh, I guess Ghost Trick Mummy is, it's a big scary monster. At least it's the most physically imposing. It's got the highest attack, right? Got the highest attack of the base Ghost Trick monsters, it looks like. So I can imagine Ghost Trick monsters coming by and flocking to this monster, right? Because they want to go there for protection. They're like, oh, we're going to hide behind Ghost Trick Mummy and then start scaring people. So that makes sense as well. I like that. Ghost Trick Neko Musume. Let's see what your effect... Let's do show details. When a level 4 or higher monster is normal or special summoned, change that monster to face down defense mode. Why? I don't know. Probably some sorceress magic, I guess? There must be another Ghost Trick monster on the field to activate and resolve this effect. So she's shy. She only does this when there's another Ghost Trick monster, right? Maybe she's not confident in her powers. I can envision all of that from this monster. I admit that I might be getting creative here, but it's not too much of a stretch for me to identify all of these, right? Change it to face down defense mode. That does work with Ghost Trick, so she has magic that supports her Ghost Tricks. Her Ghost Trick powers. And then, like, what? Witch? Once per turn, change to face down defense mode. Once per turn, target one face up onto your opponent control, change to face down. Okay, so she also has a similar vibe, right? So I can see that. And then Yuki Onna. When this card is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can change the monster that destroyed its face down defense position. That's a curse. Like, you know, if you annoy a Yuki Onna, it's going to curse you. So this will be the Yuki Onna's curse. I can completely see that as well. And then Spectre. When a Ghost Trick monster is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or by battle with their attacking monster and sent to the graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand face down defense mode, and if you do, draw a card. So it's the ghost of, you know, whatever Ghost Trick monster is, you know, there. Or what was left, right? I guess, maybe? And then, like, Ghost Trick Renovation makes complete sense. I like that. It's like they redecorate. It's hilarious. They redecorate real quickly. So they change, you know, the field. And then Ghost Trick Night. When this card, your opponent cannot flip summon. Makes sense. It's nighttime, right? They're all hidden by the darkness. Flashbacks to Panic, right? From Duel Monsters. When this card in your possession is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the graveyard, your opponent cannot declare attacks for the rest of this turn. That's interesting. I can't really see necessarily why. That's the thing, but I guess it's, you know, it's... There might be a thing, I just can't see it right now. But that may be a bit more discontinuous in terms of their lore effects. Ghost Trick Scare, target any number of face down defense position monsters you control, change to face up defense mode. They all pop out. Like, that makes complete sense. And then you scare your opponent's monsters. So you can flip that many monsters on their side of the field face down. They're scared, they want to hide. So that makes complete sense. Ghost Trick Vanish, perfect example of this as well. Face down defense position monsters you control and Ghost Trick monsters you control cannot be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. Like, you know, they vanish. They vanish from harm. Perfectly reasonable. And then Ghost Trick Go Around, I just love the idea that they're in the mansion and then like a wall, you know, spin them around and reveal the Ghost Trick monster. But yeah, no, that all makes sense. But then you get like, you know, So Cute Boss. Once per turn, detach an Xyz material from this card. While you control another Ghost Trick monster, your opponent cannot target this card for attacks. Why? I don't know. She's hiding behind the Ghost Trick monsters, I guess. And then you can detach an Xyz from this card. Target one monster on the field with attack less than or equal to the combined attack of all Ghost Trick monsters on the field. Destroy it. So I guess she pulls together the... I guess when it comes to like spellcasters, it's a bit more... It requires a bit more innovation, right? But you can basically divine what this creature is doing based on the effects. Like, it's like, okay, this monster has the ability to combine the attack, or to combine the might of all of your Ghost Trick monsters, and then blow up a monster whose might is less than the combined might of all your monsters, right? Let's check Doulahan. Once per turn during either player's turn, you can attach an Xyz from this card. Target one face-up monster on the field, half his attack. Why half his attack? I don't know. If this card's sent to the graveyard, target one other Ghost Trick card in your graveyard, add to your hand. I guess all Ghost Trick, well, most Ghost Trick Xyz monsters do that. So that's just an archetypal thing, I guess. Helps the deck to run, I guess. This card gains 200 attack for each Ghost Trick card you control. Why? I don't know. Angel of Mischief is also interesting. It's like, you know, when the number of Xyz material on this card becomes 10, you win the duel. Why? Well, presumably because she's caused so much mischief that you give up. Or, like, you can't handle it anymore. And, like, she wins. Like, that's her ultimate trick. Her ultimate trick is you win. And you can, like, rank her up onto any Ghost Trick monsters. So, I do like this idea. Like, you know, you think that you're encountering, like, Ghost Trick a la carte, but surprise, surprise! You've been tricked by Ghost Trick Angel of Mischief. It's actually Angel of Mischief rather than, you know, Alucard or whatever. So Ghost Tricks are a great example of what happens in Magic, and I like that idea. Like the designs in Magic, I think are represented in the designs of the Ghost Trick monsters, and I think the Subterrors are also a great example of this as well. And I guess maybe Shadows, right? Let's see, all of these are dark type. Shadows have a similar, like, they're all flip effects, right? Just the same as Sub-Terrors and just the same as, Ghost Tricks. So I guess Shadow Dragon is like, okay, they're all face down, so I can imagine you seeing a bunch of strings appearing on the battlefield, right? And then, like, when they're flip face up, like, whoever's controlling the strings pulls them up, and then their appearance gives certain effects. But I don't know why they give certain effects. That's never really explained. And I don't know why they're given these specific effects, right? It just doesn't necessarily make too much sense for me. Curse of the Shadow Prison, I can completely see. Like, this allows you to, every time a Ghost Trick, a Shadow monster is sent to the graveyard by a card effect, place a Spellstone counter on this, for each sent monster. All monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each Spellstone counter. That's basically, you know, the growing influence of the Shadows, right? Every time Shadows do stuff, every time a Shadow is destroyed, it leaves behind a shadowy prison. And, like, it's cursing your opponent, so, you know, the more you engage, the more you fight against the Shadows, the worse it's going to be for you. And then you can fusion summon a Shadow monster using monsters on your opponent's side of the field. That is terrifying lore-wise. Like, the Shadows are real scary in terms of their lore. I'm terrified of the Shadows. But, like, it makes sense lore-wise. Shadow Fusion uses specific Shadow magic, I guess. Let's see, what else? El Shadow Fusion. Fusion summon a Shadow fusion monster from your extra deck using... That's to show that they're an advanced, you know, fusion thing. So I guess it's, I guess that all makes sense. Shadow Core makes sense. Sinister Shadow Game. Send one Shadow card from your deck to the graveyard, then you can change any number of face-down defense monsters. Shadow monsters on the field face-up. Okay, I can see that as well. Perfectly fine. And then also, like, Solomon Judgment. Not necessarily a Shadow card, but indicative of, like, the design being reflected in the artwork and in the text. But then, let's say we go into Trickstars, right? Let's see, can we do Trickstars? I'm actually getting out of breath. Trickstar. Okay. Trickstar Lilibel. If this card is added to your hand except by drawing it, you can special summon it from your hand. Why? I don't know. You can only use this effect once per turn. Oh, I guess it's because it's making her grand entrance, right? This card can attack directly. Why? I don't know. She's got wings, maybe? I don't know. She's a fairy type. But, like, everything else is a fairy type. And then, Candina. When it's normal summoned, add a Trickstar card from your deck to your hand. Okay, why? What does she do? She calls the masses? Or something? I don't know, she has a megaphone. It doesn't necessarily make too much sense. Each time your opponent activates a spell or trap card, inflict 200 damage to them immediately after it resolves. Why? I don't know. Like, the Trickstars are all, like, idols. They're all based around, like, idols, right? And these are also a case of a card, of an archetype that's designed for a specific character. So I can imagine that some of these cards have effects that help the main character, Aoi Zaizen. What's her name in... I think it's Sky? Sky something? Blue Sky? No, that doesn't sound right. I know it's Sky something. But some of these monsters' effects could be because they are, you know, used with, what is it? Because they're made to help Aoi out of certain situations in the anime. Like, I can totally see things like that. What is this? Trickster Reincarnation. Banish your what? And then they draw the same number of cards. You can banish this card from your graveyard, target one Trickstar monster in your graveyard. That's insane. What? You can just banish your opponent's entire hand? I mean, sure, they get, like, it's technically... It's not even a -1. It's a delayed neutral. When it's activated, it's a -1, and then next turn, you get a +1 from it if you have a Trickstar monster in your graveyard. Trickstar Reincarnation. How does this make sense? It removes your opponent's entire hand. What is it about a Trickstar reviving that banishes your opponent's entire hand? You know. I don't think that necessarily makes too much sense. And like, let's take a look at this one. Trickstar Mandrake. If sent from your hand to the graveyard, special summon it in defense mode. I don't necessarily know why. I guess I don't know the Trickstar archetype too much. But also, like, Lunar Lights are especially notorious for this as well. So let's take a look at some Lunar Lights. Okay, we have our Lunar Light monsters here. We have Purple Butterfly. You can send this... It's a hand trap, basically, that you can only use during your main phase. And it gives your Lunar Light monster 1000 attack and defense. Now, I can understand that it has, like, maybe it gives them wings, right? I can understand that. It gives them a power boost somehow using magic. I don't know. But it's, you know, I can kind of see it happening. Let's see, who else? Kaleido Chick. Send one Lunar Light monster from your deck or extra deck to the graveyard, and then this card's name becomes that. Why? Presumably she has magic that, you know, allows her to represent other Lunar Light monsters? If this card's sent to the graveyard by card effect, target one poly in your graveyard adds to your hand. Why? I don't know. And then Crimson Fox. If it's sent to the graveyard by card effect, target one face-up monster your opponent controls, change its attack to 0 until the end of this turn. Why? Someone tell me, I don't know. When a card or effect is activated that targets a Lunar Light monster you control, you can banish this card as a quick effect from your graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, you play games 1000 life points. Why? Why? Someone tell me, please. What is it about Lunar Light Crimson Fox that allows it to have access to these abilities? Like this creature that we see before us. Take a look at it. I don't know, it beats me. Alright. I think I've made my points clear. Yu-Gi-Oh's effects don't tend to be continuous with the design. Certain archetypal designs do work. Like, I'm also reminded of Triamids. They have a bunch of, you know, field spell cards, and they represent a pyramid that changes form. And I like that. Like, that design seemed pretty cool, and I like that. Don't necessarily know why some of the monsters in the archetype do what they do. Let's take a look at some examples, if we have any. Yeah, like Triamid Dancer. Target one Triamid card in your graveyard, shuffle it into your deck. If you do, all rock monsters you control gain 500 attack and defense. Why? It protects your monsters, I guess. But why? Because she's dancing? Once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target one Triamid field spell card in your field zone, send to the graveyard, and if you do, activate one. So I guess she has magic powers that revolve around transforming the pyramid, I guess, maybe. I don't know. Ugh. I didn't expect to be spending the better part of an hour talking about this. But I think it shows a design, an interesting design difference between Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, some of these monsters' designs and artworks, and some of these cards' designs and artworks don't necessarily go with what they do. Triamid Sphinx. Must be special summoned with the effect of a Triamid card, can be special summoned other ways. So only Triamid Magic can bring this thing out. I can see that. If a face-up Triamid card you control except for Sphinx is destroyed by battle card effect, special summon this card from your hand. Okay, it's a protector. While you control another Triamid card, gains 500 attack and defense for each field spell card with a different name in your graveyard. So for as long as the Triamid Pyramid has been in play, and how many times change form this card gains extra power, right? Also, monster your opponent controls cannot attack except for Triamid Sphinx. No, it's a monster that protects and it powers up the more the pyramid is changed, right? So I guess it responds to what the pyramid does, right? I guess. Anyway, and then lastly, Triamid Master. Send one face-up Triamid card you control to the graveyard, target one set card on the field, destroy it. What? I don't know. Once per turn during your opponent's turn, you can target one Triamid field spell card in your field zone, send it to the graveyard, and if you do, activate one Triamid field spell card from your deck with a different name. It's a quick effect. So that part, you know, if there's a Triamid Master, he knows how to do Triamid magic, right? Don't necessarily know why he blows up your opponent's card. I mean, I get that it helps, right? But, yeah, anyway. What about Skull Servant? King of Skull Servants gets more powerful with more Skull Servants in the graveyard. That makes perfect sense. Lady in White protects, I guess? Has protection magic? And then, like, White Mare? I don't know. It's interesting. Okay. That was such a rant. that was a massive rant. I'm not normally a ranter. I guess this is what happens when I can go unfiltered for, like, you know, better part of an hour. Anyway, I'm gonna turn on the break text. I'm gonna, turn off my webcam. And I'm gonna go and catch my breath. Jesus Christ. I'm gonna go ahead and mute my microphone as well. So I'll be back in, well, whenever I can. That winded me. Oh man. I'll be back soon. Enjoy the luscious music of whatever this is. Alright. Thank you for, that's the end of my break. I just went around... Hold on, I need to sort out my hair. I need to get this thing cut. Very difficult to do things... Very difficult to cut your hair when, you know, the pandemic is still a thing. But, you know, I got a nice mullet going. Not necessarily very nice, but, you know, it's the thing that I can point out and make fun of. Anyway. Let's see. We are doing... What are we doing? We're going to be doing some more Arc 5 stuff. We have a lot to say about Arc 5. And we're also still trying to figure out how to make our Melodious deck. So, just going to go ahead and go into here and bring out Melodious. What was it? We definitely need to be careful of Aria, because we have a lot of stuff that targets our stuff, and if Aria is out on the field, we can't target our own things. So, like, Aria with, I think it's Cannon? Yeah. If Aria is special summon out on the field, you can't use Cannon's second effect, where it can turn a Melodious monster to, well, change its battle position. That's not something... Sorry, just looking at my phone here, got a notification. That's not something that can work. And also, like, Fortissimo. Fortissimo won't be able to target a monster that you control and give it 800 attack if Aria is out on the field that was special summoned. Also, we don't really have great super poly targets. Using monsters from either field as fusion material. Let's see if we can find a decent fusion monster, right? Let's clear that, and then let's do frame, fusion. So, okay. I don't think we found anything last time we tried this in previous stream. You should run LG, because that card prevents Melodious from being destroyed by card effects. Let's see, LG? Let's see, there are quite a few cards that prevent things from... LG, let's do Melody. Yes, I feel like either we don't have LG or we have... Where is it? Ah, there she is. LG the Melodious Diva. Special summon Melodious monsters you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. If this card was special summoned, all fairy monsters you control. I think I remember looking at this card and feeling that it wasn't strictly necessary. The way that our deck currently works is we get things out with Condemned Witch. We could do things like Aria, right? If we get Aria out, then that's LG's effect, right? Like Aria, when this special summon card is on the field, Melodious monsters can't be targeted by or destroyed by card effects. This one is only destroyed by card effects, so it does allow for targeting. So that could be a thing. We'll go ahead and put an LG in exchange for an Aria. But LG also doesn't prevent battle destruction, does she? Just can't be destroyed by effects. But she does also buff up on monsters. Something's telling me that Aria is still a better option, I'll be honest. But we'll try one copy of Elegy here. What else? I feel like Celestial Transformations clog up our hand. If we don't start off with it, Celestial Transformation isn't a very good thing for us. But we'll try this a bit more. We'll do some more duelist challenges, and we'll go into Zexal. We'll fight some people that we haven't won against before. Fire Fist? Okay, I don't really know how Fire Fists work. I know that I've lost against this guy once already, but here we go. For some reason, I'm super nervous about fighting Fire Fist, and I don't know why. Aren't Fire Fists those ones that, like, they're all Beast Warriors? And they have, like, Fire Formation Tenki and such? Ah! Okay, yeah, they are, okay. You can normal summon one Beast Warrior monster in addition to your normal summon set. Can only gain this effect once per turn. Okay. Don't know why he played two of those. Oh, we did draw LG. Okay. We have got Polly. Let's see. I feel like I want to summon Condemned Witch. What Condemned Witch does is when she's normal summoned, I search for a Forbidden Quick Play spell. So like Forbidden Drift, Forbidden Chalice and all that. And then on my opponent's main phase, as a quick effect, I can tribute her and special summon a level 4 fairy monster from my deck, except Condemned Witch. And since Melodious monsters are all fairies, then that's good. So, okay, we set Flash Fusion. And let's see. You know, honestly, I think maybe Crystal Rose might be an okay choice in this deck. As like a one-off. Allows us to get quick access to the Melodious Maestros. Let's see. After this card is special summoned to your side of the field. Okay, we don't have anything that can special summon her just yet. So I think we're going to use our normal summon on Condemned Witch. And we might want to fusion summon. Let's see. Effects are negated. What do we have face down? Flash Fusion. Can it be targeted by or destroyed by a card effect? We'll do this. This should protect our fusion monsters whenever we use them. Or whenever we bring them out. And we will use Polymerization here. Bring out Shuberta. Using those two options. We could have also just used cards of the sky, or cards from the sky, and just passed our turn without fusion summoning. That could have been an okay option as well. Right. We'll enter battle, and we'll attack with Shuberta. Attacking Brotherhood of the Firefist Leopard? Doesn't look like it has a specific effect that we need to worry about. Okay, might as well attack with Condemned Witch. And then we pass. You have MST. You're going to target... What? Forbidden Dress. Okay. No problem. Oh, Flash Fusion can't help us fuse anything right now, though. What does that do? Can I activate it in response? While this card's face up on the field, that set card cannot be activated. Oh, that's bad. That's not good. Okay, that's fine. But he only has one card. Before the end of his main phase, I'll trigger Condemned Witch. And who should I go into? I feel like I want to go into... Where is she? Maybe go into Opera? Cannot attack turn, normal summon, flip face up. This card is sent from the graveyard's fusion material for a fusion summon. You can activate this effect, and it protects monsters from destruction by battle or card effects. Okay. I feel like a lot of Melodious monsters allow that to happen, right? Like, you have Aria, you have Opera, you have Elegy. Is Elegy... I'm not familiar with the word Elegy. I'm going to look this up quickly. An elegy is a sad poem, usually written to praise and express sorrow for someone who is dead. Wow, no wonder she looks so upset. Wow, I didn't realize that. That's pretty metal, actually. We could do Tam Tam. Oh, dude, if we do Tam Tam, we immediately get Poly. Okay, let's bring out Tam Tam in defense mode. Tam Tam will give us Poly, and then we can go into, like, Bloom Doom next turn. If we want to. Although Bloom Doom's not really good. Maybe we'll go into Bloom Diva. Bloom Prima, sorry. Bloom Doom, by the way, if you don't know, is the name that I give to Bloom Diva. And don't ask me why, I don't know why. I just feel like Bloom Doom is easier. Okay, that thing's preventing me from doing that. We have a face down card. We could actually just go into a rank 4 play. We could go into, like, what do you do? Dark one, face up, monster your opponent controls... Oh, we could go into Tornado Dragon, right? Dark one, spell the trap on the field, destroy. We could blow that up, and then we could, Flash Fusion. But we don't really need Flash Fusion yet. What are we doing? What are the we can go into these two. So I think Bloom Prima is the best option, because she can attack twice. And then if it's sent to the graveyard, I can recycle. Okay, I think we're doing that. So we do this. Maybe we use Tam Tam? Now, Tam Tam would be good for field presence, so we'll just go into Bloom Prima. Using Shuberta and Aria. That's it. I don't think that this monster is going to survive being hit. It might be, but you never know. I don't know how Fire Fists work, and it doesn't look like he's got his deck off to a running start. So we're going to go ahead and attack. Should be able to beat over it. Boar. Boar gets an effect, special summons Dragon. What does Dragon do? Once per turn, if you activate Fire Formation spell or trap card except during damage step, target one set of Fire Formation trap from your deck. Once per turn, send 2 face-up Fire Formation spell or trap you control to the graveyard, target 1 Fire Fist monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Okay. So it feels like the Fire Fist monsters want to bring out a bunch of Fire Fist spell and traps and then use that to gain advantage. Such a card. That'll be a Fire Fist spell or trap, huh? Okay. We get Mozarta. Very nice. Can't really do anything about that for now, so we'll just go ahead and attack. Cards from the sky prevents us from battling, so we can't activate this afterwards. That's fine. We don't need to activate it. We're taking good. We've got dominant field presence. It tends you to bring out Dragon. Okay, Dragon's gonna bring out stuff. Oh, they have synchros. Oh, you're going into an Xyz, not a synchro. Do Fire Fists have both Xyz and synchros? That'll be cool. What is that? Cardinal? Okay, you want to return those two. Okay. That's a bit upsetting, I won't lie. Kind of reminds me of Mandolce Queen Tiara Misu, but this looked like it targets. Let's see what you do. Yeah, target 2, and 2 cards in your opponent's graveyard and off face up on the field, shuffle them into the deck. Okay, that's cool. Let's see, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna get around this? I feel like we cast from the sky, summon Condemned Witch. You're a fire type monster. Okay. So we'll cast from the sky, see what we get. We'll banish Mozarta. Ooh, the deep Grave. From your hand and or deck. Why can't I activate? Oh, I can't activate this because we can't special summon, I see. We'll set the Deep Grave and then we will normal summon Condemned Witch. Condemned Witch will give us the other forbidden card in our deck, which would be Forbidden Chalice. And we might as well set that as well. Increases the monster's attack by 400, but negates its effects. So we could use that on Cardinal, honestly. Going into Raven, what does Raven do? When it's sent from the field to the graveyard, set 1 Fire Formation spell directly from the deck. Okay. And then it protects the spell and trap from destruction. Yep, for the end of main phase, I'll go into Condemned Witch. And I'll use Condemned Witch to bring out... I think... where is she? Do we not have one? Do we not have a... Oh no, there she is. An Aria. Okay, Aria comes to the field in defense mode. Protects... She can't be destroyed by battle. And neither can any of my other Melodious monsters. Alright, end of the turn, I can activate the Deep Grave, and this will allow me to special summon a monster from either graveyard. However, it's not special summoned until my standby phase. So, we could use this to bring out Shuberta. Shuberta could attack over anything. But also, we might be able to use this for a fusion play. What's our other face downs? Forbidden Chalice and Flash Fusion. We can't use Flash Fusion. But what's this? If you control no monsters, fusion summon one. During the end phase of this turn, destroy the fusion summon monster. And if all the fusion materials that were used for the fusion... Okay. Ostinato is used as a, you know, it gives you tempo if you have none. Type of thing. Who do we bring out? This card will special summon all fairy monsters you control gain 300 attack. That, 6, 7, 8. Dude. Okay, sure. Let's go into Elegy. Elegy comes out. Deep Grave. Yeah, that's fine. Opponent's about to end his or her turn. No, that's fine. Okay, now Deep Grave activates. We bring out Elegy. Elegy will buff herself and everyone else. So it will change to attack mode. And then Elegy will attack. Over here. No, that's fine. Oh, what is this? When this card activates, target one Beast Warrior type monster you control gains 700 attack until the end of this turn. All Beast Warrior monsters you control gain 300 attack. Okay, so it's going to give that monster 1,000. So I'll bring it up to... effects will be negated. If I do this 4, 5, 6, 7, that won't be enough. I see. But our monster won't be destroyed, which is good. However, they can shuffle back all of my... They can't target me, though. Okay, yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. Your monster's attack bonus isn't going to last. No, that's perfectly fine. And then you will just attack over here. Card sent from the field to the graveyard, set one fire formation spell directly from your deck. Do we want to do that and allow him to bring out anything that he wants? Net 0 in card advantage. And he gets a card at the end of his turn. We've definitely got field advantage here. So we'll attack here. Or at least we've got like overall card advantage. We'll attack there. You can certainly, you know, Yoko. Alright, sure. Main phase 2. If this were a human opponent, like, I'd be perfectly willing to do this. To, like, try and psych him out. But, you know. We set that. You activate Yoko. Target one card your opponent controls, discard a Beast Warrior monster, and if you do, destroy that card. All Beast Warrior monsters you control gain 100 attack. Well, you can't target me. You go into Bear. When this card inflicts battle damage, set one fire formation... okay, that's fine. You're gonna attack me here. 9, 10, 11, 12. We can destroy Cardinal. If we use Forbidden Chalice. Brings up to 2300. And then, you know, Cardinal will destroy itself. But also I'm thinking... Oh yeah, dude, no, we definitely do this. Because then Bora can't do anything. I can't target myself! Oh no, I can't target myself. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. Guess we'll just target you. Sure. Okay, that's the downside of you know, Aria. When this card we can go into a fusion. When this card special summon, target one Melodious monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. Okay, we can Celestial Transformation into Soprano. We'll bring Soprano to the field in defense mode. And then Soprano's effect activates. We'll use that to special summon someone. Sorry, not special summon, it's added to our hand. Who do we want to add? Let's add Serenade. Get nice variety in our Melodious monsters. We're going to Serenade. Now we could go into Silent Honorak. We can go into a bunch of things. Tornado Dragon as well. Sorry, just taking a look at some things here. Let's see. We could also go into a fusion monster. We could go into... We don't have a Melodious Maestro, so we can't go into Bloom Doom. And I think I want to keep Elegy out. Elegy is... Honestly, Elegy doesn't interfere with us as much as Aria does. So, there's that. Hold on, I'm gonna take a look at a few more things here. Okay, so I think Elegy is actually a pretty good idea. Thanks for that suggestion, Pokemaster fan. That was a great suggestion. I do still like Aria though. Even though she does interfere with us, I feel like we can build a deck around Aria. And the field presence Aria gives us. What do you do? Oh, you just allow us to fusion summon, right? Using monsters you control, including this card. So we'll use... what? We use Soprano and we use Aria as fusion materials. Or we can use Serenade. Yeah, if we go into okay, we need to do something for the sake of doing something. Let's give it a go. You have 400? Okay, we'll summon you. I do tend to be very, very indecisive when it comes to trying to figure out what the best order of operations here is. Trying to figure out the best solution to something, I can spend like hours trying to decide something. I remember when I was playing World Championship Tournament 2011, I think, over the Nexus. I built a Fabled deck, and it took me so long to make every move, because Fableds can go into like a ton. Oh, we have Trickster, huh? For each card they control, if this link summon card it's destroyed by battle or card effect, special summon 1 link 2 or low. Trickster. Okay, we're not using this card for that. Oh, hey Kairos, how's it going? You doing good? How's work today? Did you go to work? I just assumed that you were working. We're playing a waifu deck. Like, literally every card in here is a waifu. Nope. Oh, fantastic. I also had a free day today. I also have work tomorrow as well, so we're gonna share in the pain there. Already in bed. Well, you got me beat there. My bed is behind me. So, you got one up on me there. We're gonna go ahead and banish these. Yeah, we're playing a deck that's literally all just, you know, people singing at each other. You have to be up at 4. Oh, okay, that's pretty bad. I'll be honest there. Like, I don't start... Like, I have to be up at, like, 6:30, I think. And then I need to leave for... I need to leave at, like, 7 or so. But yeah, that... Hopefully that means that you finish early, though. Like, you're not working, like, 12-hour shifts or something, are you? That'd be crazy. Do you have a limitation? Like, at my workplace, we have a limitation on, like, how many people can be in the kitchen at once. Does your place have that? I feel like that's a thing that might be industry-wide. Okay, I need to figure out what I'm doing. I can't go into the link 3. Let's just attack. Oh no, huh? Interesting. Dude, I feel like I go crazy whenever I'm at work. Like, so you know I'm partially deaf, right? Like, I can't hear anything. And then there's all the noise. Just whatever you need. Okay. But like, there's all the noise, like, from all the machines beeping at me. Or like, everyone. And then, like, we all have masks, so I can't lip read. So I literally cannot communicate with anyone at work unless they're speaking directly at me. So that kind of sucks. But, you know, that's just how it goes in order to keep everyone safe. Plus, like, I really do enjoy morning shifts now. I used to do, like, what is it? Like, 5 p.m. to, like, 2 a.m. Those were killer. Like, I don't know how I did it. It's like... Do you ever, like, stop and wonder, like, how, when you were a kid, how did you ever manage, like, going, like, you know, I see. But did you ever wonder how you went, like, you know, went to school every day? We are absolutely getting old. Dude, like, I was like... Yeah, number 30. Absolutely. I was like, I can't... It can't be right. Like, I'm 30 and, like, less than one hand count away. Like, in less than 5 years, I'm going to be 30. And it's like, what? When did that happen? What happened to the other, like, 20 years of my life, right? Not saying it's a bad thing, it's just surprising, honestly, but it's definitely a wake-up call. I'm like, I still feel 17, man. But yeah, no, it's all good. Cats are still doing fine as well. Like, Tennis and Tallulah, they were fighting earlier today, and they're, you know, they're over 10 years old, and they're still, like, hyperactive, which is a very good sign. I don't even know what we're fighting. We're fighting against Treyus, Karakuris. Okay, I know that Karakuris, they change their battle positions, and they do stuff when they change their battle positions. What do you mean you long for the machine? Like, I feel like you have to prepare everything by hand, right? Like, whenever you get an order, you have to, like, make the meal from scratch. But then again, like, you know, McDonald's is fast food. Like, it's probably not considered healthy. So, I feel like... Yeah, fryers and whatnot, I understand. But yeah, no, like, I feel like, you know, that could probably save you, like, several hours over, like, the course of a couple of days, right? What am I doing here? Once per turn, change something to defense mode. We don't have any plays here. We have to pass our turn. Our hand is clogged with magic cards. But yeah, work is pretty rote right now. Like, one thing that I do love doing... I'm sure you guys must also get delivery, right? You're attacking? When you take battle damage... Why are you attacking me? This card... Oh, it must attack if able. You're an idiot for summoning that thing. But like at work, like, we used to get deliveries in the evening. Why are you attacking? Why do you have so much attack points? When did you get so much attack points? Hold on. When this card destroys an opponent by battle... Oh! When you take battle damage from a battle involving this card, everyone gained 800. We can protect our monster if we do Forbidden Dress here. But yeah, we used to get deliveries during the evening. And that wasn't, like, very good. But since the pandemic, we can't guarantee that we're open for that long. So we get deliveries in the morning. You still have to use fryers, ovens, stuff that I also have, but yours are designed for speed and quality of life. Yeah, absolutely. You have to do it all by eye. Oh no. Oh no. I feel for you, man. Most people at work have no idea what to do if, like, the timer doesn't work on the frying machines. Like, it never breaks like that, and whenever it does, it's quick to be fixed. But like, let's say you put like some fries down, right, into the vats, and then you forget to press the timer. Yeah. But if you forget to press the timer, like, you have to memorize how long they go in there. And then, like, it's all by eye. Like, and that's pretty difficult to do. Like, at my place, we have an emphasis on like quality over, or like, you know, persistent quality, like quality over time. That's the general idea. I feel like that's a thing that everywhere would have anyway. Them machines are costly. Yeah, I don't know how much they run. Like, probably like in the order of, like, you know, £1,500 or something like that. I don't know. You want them. I can just imagine, like, you know, having in your apartment, you just have like a fryer, like a McDonald's grade fryer in your kitchen. When you say that you want them, like, I'm just like taking it out of work, like the context out of the work. Once card special summon target one Melodious monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Once per turn, you can fusion summon one Melodious monster from your extra deck using materials you control. Okay, what monster would be amazing, for sure? Aren't there... There's gotta be, like, you know, home... No, there absolutely is, like, home fryers, right? Like, deep fryers? Like, I feel like at least the Americans must have made one of those. I feel like, you know, that's absolutely a thing. Let's see, Polly, go into Soprano, and then what fusion monster are we going into? We're gonna have to go into Shubata. Alright, let's try that. Do this, go into Shubata, and hope that face down card isn't something deadly. We're at quite a risk here in this duel because we've used all of our resources into this and we have nothing to do if this is countered. If we get countered, then really we can't do anything. When you take battle damage from a battle involving this card, all face up. When this card is then face up, attack position cannot be destroyed by battle. If this card is selected as an attack target, change its battle position. Okay, so this will destroy it. And it will also change battle position. When this face-up card is selected as an attack target, change its battle position. When this card is destroyed once by battle, select one level 4 or lower character monster in your graveyard special summon. Okay, we're attacking dog. You get changed to defense mode. Don't need to activate anything. Never punished. Nope. Never punished. That's how you win at Yu-Gi-Oh! You just never get punished. Dude, I've been playing so much Duel Links recently, it's it's crazy. Although I think I told you about that last stream. It's got like new cards, it's got like the XCs and it's got the synchros in it. But yeah. I actually wanted to play this so that I can make the Duel Links deck in this game. Because the Duel Links deck that I use is called Lunalights. And they're used by a specific character in the anime. In like the Arc 5 anime. And I'm so pissed off because she's my favorite character. And yet, like, in this game, you only get one duel with her in the story. And she plays such a, like, so much of a bigger role in the actual anime. I don't even know what this man's doing. I'm getting so distracted here. Climbing, you mean climbing, like, the ranked ladder? Select card to activate. I can activate something. That's fine. I don't know if I've ever told you, but like I have extreme PvP anxiety. Like I did a PvP stream earlier, or a PvP match earlier today in this game. The PvP scene here is like dead, by the way. It's just... Oh no, what's going on? Like I saw one person in the lobby in this game. And wow. You're just synchroing everywhere? Oh my Christ. Okay. Whatever. Wait, what? 1% target one monster on the field changes battle position. Okay, can't do anything about that. But like my heart rate like increased exponentially. My hands were shaking. But in Duel Links... Yeah, so it's interesting, like, I want to get to this point, like, there's the anxiety about it, and, like, everyone experiences it, right? Like, I'm sure some people don't experience, like, PvP anxiety, but, like, you know, whenever you do experience anxiety, we're probably dead here. Whenever you do experience anxiety, it's like, you know, the only way to get around it is either to avoid it, or to power through it. And it's weird, to say the least. It's not something that I'm very used to. I've had a privileged life up until this point. But it's weird. Like, what is it about going into PvP that's threatening to the body, right? What is it that the brain is like, hey, body, like, don't do this. Like, this is going to murder you. That's like, what? It's just a game. I don't know. I guess we have monkey brain. You get that all the time too. More intense the game, the worse it is. I would agree with that. There's a thing as well. I think we're gonna have to surrender here. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to surrender. Like whenever, like when you're anxious, you don't make as good of plays, right? But then you're also playing a complicated game like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic or Runeterra or something like that. And then, like, that impairs your ability to like, keep up with what's going on. So, like, it kind of has a knock-on effect with each one. So your anxiety causes you to play worse, which causes you to see the game as more intense, which then increases your anxiety. It's... Also, I can only play so much PvP before you need a break. Yeah. I feel that. But I'm getting the sense, like, if I do Duel Links, like, I can see once I'm past the initial hurdle of, like, you know, going into a game and clicking the ranked PvP match thing, and then I do a game, like, I feel like all I just need to do is play my deck. Like, look at my hand and then do, like, make plays with it. 2 games of League, 3 games of Rune. Terra. Oh, does it transfer between games as well? Like, let's say you've done a bunch of PvP in Runeterra. Could you then do PvP in League? Or is it... Or does that feel different? Oh man, don't have great options here. Oh dude, we can go into Serenade. Okay, look at this. We go into Serenade. Serenade has an ability that it counts as 2 tributes for a tribute summon of a Melodious monster. Oh, but then this other one is only when it's special summoned. So I can't normal summon again this... Okay, I see. It's different. Okay, that's interesting. I thought we could, like, we summon Serenade, and then, you know, we tribute for Mazarta, and then Mazarta allows us to special summon another monster. If you change games, it resets. Oh, that's crazy. But I can see that, actually. I think I'd be the same if I did more PvP. But you know, like, I feel like the source of the PvP is Guild Wars. Honestly. Like, that game we played so long ago. I remember having a guild master, who was like a dervish, which, for everyone else watching the stream, was my favorite class. You should try Rocket League. You get none from that. Rocket League I avoid because it's like the only... Like, it's mainly a PvP game, isn't it? Like, you get like... Can you even fight against the AI in Rocket League? It's why I avoid games like League as well, because League, like, you can't really play single player, at least. It does have, like, single player stuff, but, like, that's not why you play League, right? Oh my god. We're gonna get crushed here. Can't believe Karakuri is wrecking us. Iron Core. I'm just gonna let him do what he can. Okay, you can. That's cool. We're not dead. Don't play League, you'll hate it. Well, the only time I played League was when we played it together. And the only reason why I was okay with that is because I had, you know, people that I could talk to you know, do stuff with. Plus, I also ended up doing pretty good in that match, apparently. So that kind of boosted my confidence. But I don't like the idea of playing League. Okay, what's going on here? I see. What do you do? Okay, you're not a quick effect. We could do Fortissimo. If you control no monster, fusion summon one Melodious monster from your X deck using 2 monsters from your hand or deck as fusion material. During the end phase of the turn, destroy that monster. Dude, okay, oh. We've got to play. We've actually got to play. We play Ostinato here. Ostinato will allow us to fusion summon anything from our fusion deck using monsters in our deck. So, okay, we go into Bloom Diva here, or as I like to say, Bloom Doom. And then we use... Who do we use? Do we use Soprano? No. Someone here has an effect when it's sent to the graveyard as a fusion material monster. Oh no, it's Opera here. Yeah, we use Opera. Okay. And then we use the Mozarta in our deck. Thins out our deck. Since Opera was sent to the graveyard by a card effect, or for fusion, its effect activates, which prevents our Melodious monsters from being destroyed by card effect this turn. And that negates the destruction caused by Ostinato. But, yeah, we'll use Opera's effect. Rocket League is cool. It's so easy to forget about other people and the anxiety and just have fun. That's interesting. I guess it's because, you know, there's too many people there, right? And it's not like, you know, confrontational, like Runeterra. I don't exactly know what Runeterra is, but I assume it's like a 1v1 thing, right? The effect of Melodious Diva is activated. Nah. Then we use Necrofusion. It cannot attack this turn. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, no, Rocket League... I can see Rocket League. I'll definitely give Rocket League a go at some point, I think. Unless I forget. You know what I'm like when it comes to you know, people suggesting me games. I'm like, oh, that sounds fun, and then I just never do it. But I can see myself trying it out at some point. I must say it's not overly high on my list, but I'll definitely take your recommendation. Let's see, who are we going for? Are we going for Shuberta? If we go for Shuberta, we can start banishing things from graveyards. And if we go into Bloom Prima... Okay, we go into Bloom Prima, and then we use... Who are we using? 1, 2, 3. Nice. I forgot what my point was. I feel like I've missed out on so many points. Like, I've started sentences, and then I just haven't completed any of my points. But that's alright. But yeah, no, like, whenever I do Duel Links PvP, like, it gets easier the more I do PvP, but there's always, like, that initial, like, climb to get over in order to start PvP. And then afterwards, like, the more I do it, the more it's just like, I'm just playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, there's really limited interaction with the opponent. And I can just, like, imagine playing, like, me playing against a smart AI. Like, that's the goal. My brain's still not there yet, but I feel like that's where it's heading to. Let's see. And now we can also still summon something. Forbidden Chalice will negate something. You can attack and destroy Karakuri thanks to your effect. Let me just double check the effect of Ostinato here. Destroy it during the end phase. And if you do... Okay, that's protected though. And let's see. So we have Opera. For the rest of this turn, Melodious monster you control cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Okay. You think it's because Rocket League is so skill intensive? You're always trying to do something cool. Okay. So it feels like your mind is less on the fact that you're fighting someone else, and more on the, like, more on yourself, I guess? More on your abilities? That does seem pretty cool. It kind of makes me a bit envious. So, you know, that's always a thing. Do I want to summon this thing? I'll summon this thing. Alright, and then we'll attack. We'll use Bloom Diva's effect. Inflicts the difference between our attack points and then destroys his special summon monster. And Arya can't really do anything. Okay. So he does still have Castle out on the field. And Castle can destroy a target, I believe. Let me read this effect. Detach a material from this card, target one face-up monster on the field, change to face-down mode. Detach 2 materials from this card instead, then target one other face-up card on the field. Shuffle it into the deck. Okay, we can negate that. You miss Yu-Gi-Oh! Though? What is it about Yu-Gi-Oh! That you miss? Not gonna work, my friend. Could play game after game all day. Oh, okay. Bloom Prima? What does Bloom Prima do? Yes, do that, please. Back to back. That does sound pretty good. Have you ever tried, like, Magic the Gathering? You just play Duel Links at work. I bet they love that. I actually play Duel Links whenever I'm on break. My friends, like, the people who I speak to on Discord are, they've gotten me into Magic, relatively speaking. I'm still going to be a Yu-Gi-Oh! Fanboy forever. Like, Magic's not going to touch that. But it had introduced me to Magic, and I know how to play that now. And it's interesting. Was obsessed. I don't know how long my Duel Links phase is going to last, but, you know, for now it's going strong. I feel like after Duel Links phase I might go back to, like, The Sims 3 or something like that, knowing me. Alright, let's see. Go into Soprano. Oh, you tried to get into Magic. Okay. Once per turn, fusion summon. Okay. Long time ago. Was that before or after Yu-Gi-Oh? Would you say? Whoops. I should have read that prompt. Like which card game broke your card game virginity? It doesn't have to be Yu-Gi-Oh! Or, like, Magic. Although, it probably was Yu-Gi-Oh! Right? Like, I remember introducing you to the game, like, way back in high school. That's crazy. Go ahead, special summon Ken. After IRL, but before Duel Links. Ah, okay, I see. I'm trying to also pass the difference in, or like the stream delay. Like, I thought it was 10 seconds, but it feels a bit longer than that. Although, maybe my brain is going super fast. Yeah. Alright, cool. Type 1 Melodious wanted to change its battle position. Okay, we can change this to attack mode and attack Karakuri. What does this do? Okay, I feel like I don't know necessarily what they do, so I feel like I'm going to fall into a trap here. But we'll try. So you'll attack Castle, and then use your effect this time. Blow that up, inflict, yep. And then this one will attack here. Nice. Oh, we only have 1,000 life points left? That's... I was so not paying attention. But you can't play 100 games in a row. That's interesting. Like, my first response is like, why? What is it about Runeterra do you think that, you know, triggers that in you? Rather than Yu-Gi-Oh, for instance. Uh-oh, what's that? You just changing my monster to defense mode? That's not a problem. Oh, we have Super Poly. Oh, but we don't have a target. Oh, no. Okay, we'll just set this. If this guy was a human, he'd be quaking in his boots about what my set card is. And then we'll just have you go ahead and attack here. If possible, use the effect. Alright. This Bloom Doom is certainly certainly going to win us the game if we do end up winning. Call of the Haunted. You going into Burrito? You're going to Nisamu. And some game knowledge, okay. Oh, you're going into another Bure. Interesting. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, like, trying to think about the difference between Yu-Gi-Oh! And... You took so much damage there, you idiot! Thinking about, like, old school Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus new school Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, you can see right here, like, you still have monsters, spells, traps. Like, field cards work a little bit differently in that you can have... Each side can have a field spell card out at the same time. But the biggest difference is the type of effects that the monsters have. So, like, for instance... So this is an old school Yu-Gi-Oh card, relatively old school. Or the most old school one here. I guess Call of the Haunted is like the most old school on the field right now. And it's literally just got one effect. It's special summon a monster from the graveyard, right? And then the rest of its effect is, you know, they're kind of like clauses on the card. But if we take a look at Athena, Athena has two effects. If a fairy monster is summoned while this is already on the field, inflict 600 damage to your opponent. Like, pretty simple. And then, once per turn, you can send a face-up fairy monster you control to the graveyard except Athena. Special summon another fairy, or a fairy from your graveyard except Athena. And then, you know, that inflicts another 600 points of damage. But that's relatively easy to parse. But then if we look at, like, let's see, what's a good example? Okay, some of these cards are going to look a bit scary. So we have this card. And if you look at, like, this little text box here, it has a lot of text. So this is a fusion monster. It requires 2 dark monsters on the field except tokens as a fusion summon. And it has a few effects. One of them is when fusion summoned, you can make this card gain attack equal to 1 special summoned monster your opponent controls until the end of the turn. So that's one effect. Once per turn, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster your opponent controls. Until the end phase, this card's name becomes that original name, and replace this effect with that monster's original effects. So it basically copies a monster and it drains your opponent's monster, right? And then, like, if this fusion summon card is destroyed, you can destroy all opponent's special summon monsters. That's 3 effects on this card. Like, 3. And that's standard now. Like, many cards have 3 effects. Let's see if I can find a good example in here. So Cannon. Like, Cannon I think only has 2 effects. It's basically a Cyber Dragon if you control, or you can special summon it if you control another Melodious monster. And once per turn, you can target one Melodious monster you control and change its battle position. That doesn't seem as complicated as it is, but like, what is it? One thing that's very prevalent in Yu-Gi-Oh nowadays is archetype effects. So like, most things have an effect like provided by the archetype. Like one thing that comes to mind is it's an archetype called Madolches, and I love Madolches. I think you'd also like Madolches as well. They're based around like foods and desserts, and they're like they're puns on food. Like you have Madolche Messengelato, like it's a messenger, but it's also, you know, gelato. And then you have Madolche Moufoy, which is based on the French dish, which I don't know what the French dish is. I think it's I can't remember, but it's basically a cat that's based on that dish. Oh, we can Super Poly? Oh yeah, I guess we can Super Poly because we have Bloom Diva and Opera out on the field. And then you also have like Madolche Puddingcess, which is a princess, and then you have Madolche Queen Tiara Misu. Like, they're great, like, the design is great, but the thing with them, they have a very convoluted archetype effect, which is, basically if they're sent to the graveyard on the field, or if they're destroyed on the field and they're sent to the graveyard, they shuffle themselves back into the deck instead. Oh, we've lost, haven't we? What's the difference here? This is greater than 700. Okay, we're going to use Super Poly. What? Oh, we need to discard something from our hand, I see. And then we'll go into, like, Shubata here. Go ahead and fuse these two. This should save us, I hope. But, like, writing that out on every single Madolche card is going to be, like, it's cumbersome. And it uses up a lot of text. And, like, a lot of, yeah, use Opera's effect, please. A lot of archetypes have different, like, have texts that are similar. Yeah, we'll use Shuberta's effect. Go ahead and start banishing some stuff. What are we banishing? Well, I don't like the fact that he had all these Synchro monsters in his graveyard. What's this going to bring us up to? This will bring us up to... Okay. Our monster is still safe. Dark Hole! Oh, you fiend. Absolute fiend. Oh! Boom! Thanks to this monster. When it was fusion, uses the fusion material, it protects our monsters from destruction. Oh, get wrecked, son. Okay, let's, I think we won. Oh, you're activating Call of the Haunted! That's fine. What did this do? It loses 600 attack, but cannot be targeted by or destroyed by other effects. Okay, let's try this again. Like, a great example is the Karakuris. So take a look at the Karakuris. This card must attack if able. When this face-up card is selected as an attack target, change the battle position. That's a thing on all Karakuri monsters. And the thing is, like, there's nothing that says, like, this is a Karakuri monster. Like, you know what Spirit monsters do, right? Spirit monsters, they, just an explanation for, like, people on the stream. And also in case, like, as a refresher. Like, they can't be special summoned, and if you normal summon them, they bounce back to your hand at the end phase, right? Like, that's written on every single spirit monster. But also, like, in their text, you see where it says, like, here, it's like, let's, how do I inspect this card? But anyway, underneath where it says its name in the left, it says, like, you know, machine-tuner-effect. Like, spirit monsters say, like, machine, like, if this were a spirit monster, it would have said, Machine Tuner Spirit effect, right? Like, why don't they just put it in the rules that spirit monsters do this thing? Which is like, you know, they bounce back to the hand if they're normal summoned and they can't be special summoned, right? Like, why not just do that and then just put the effect of what a spirit monster does somewhere else, like not on the card? like tuna, like this is what tuners do. Like tuna monsters can be used, like you need a tuna monster and a non-tuna monster to bring out a synchro monster. That is the effect of a tuna monster. So like, I mean it can't be negated, obviously. I guess that might be why. If spirit monsters worked like tuna monsters do, if I suggested, then you can't negate a spirit monster's effect and prevent it from being bounced back. That might be a design interaction that they were going for, maybe. Like, you could negate that if you wanted to, but it just feels cumbersome. Like, I think Yu-Gi-Oh! Does need keywords. Like, it'd be so much easier to do keywords. No, that's fine. You change to defense mode. Battle step, activate card. No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. This dude had 3 Call of the Haunted. It's ridiculous. And, what's another good example? Like, the Melodious monsters that I mentioned earlier. They all have the effect of, if they're destroyed on the field and get sent to the graveyard, they're shuffled back into the deck instead. Like, why not just say that, okay, these are all Melodious cards. Like, just put it in, like, the text here, like, Fairy Fusion Melodious, right? And then just be like, okay, Melodious monsters do this. Or, like, just put it somewhere in the keyword, or, like, on the card, like, this card is a Melodious monster. Or like, this card is a Melodious card. Or something like that. I don't know. I'm no designer, so I feel like they are doing things this way for a reason. But it definitely feels like they could... One problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like, it looks complicated, right? Like, you're given any card, and you're like, wow, this card has a lot of text. And even to this day, I'm like that. I'm like, wow, this card has a lot of text, I don't... You did what? When this card split face up, select one face up monster on the field, send to the graveyard. During the turn, this card split face up, it can attack directly. Okay, that's upsetting. I should have activated Forbidden Dress. Wait, that card doesn't target though. Okay. But yeah, I feel like you could definitely... There can definitely be improvements. In the Japanese card text, like, the Japanese have spread out their card effects pretty effectively. Like, whenever a monster has multiple effects, like this Tam Tam monster I just summoned has 2 effects. If it's special summoned while you control a Melodious monster, you can add a poly from your deck or graveyard to your hand. And if this card is sent to the graveyard as fusion material for fusion summon, you can target one Melodious monster you control. It loses 500 attack and inflict 500 damage to your opponent, right? That's the 2 effects that it has. In the Japanese, like, there's like a circled number after every effect. So before effects. So before the first effect, it'll have like a 1 that's circled. And then before the second effect, it has a 2 that's circled. Like, it makes it so much easier to look at the card and like, okay, this is what it does. I think we're going to cowboy the game here. No need to try and attack into whatever that face down is. Okay, we're going to go into Gaga Cowboy, put it in defense mode, and then use its effect to detach a material and inflict 800 damage. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. I think maybe Melodious don't have a very good matchup against Karakuris, which is a weird thing to say. But then again, I've not been entirely focused on the match, so that's... we're gonna go look at card shop. We're gonna go ahead and continue picking out this pack here. This is where I'm getting all my cards from. Okay, let's see. We get Gladiator Beasts. We get Gem Knights, Moon Mirror Shield. If the equipped monster battles an opponent's monster during damage count, the equipped monster's attack and defense becomes equal to the attack and defense of the opponent battling monster plus 100. So you equip this to a monster, and your monster is always 100 attack and defense stronger than the monster it attacks. Or not even if it attacks. Like, it could be attacked or you could attack with it. I feel like this is the fusion pack. We're getting a lot of fusion monsters here. Oh no, we get Gem Knight Lapis. There's card lore about Gem Knight Lapis that like pertains to the Shadol monsters, which is another archetype that's fusion based. And Gem Knight Lapis in that lore just gets like obliterated. It's very sad. Like, she becomes a... I think at that point in the lore, like, the Gem Knights are dead already. Like, they they were part of the story in an earlier point in the story or whatever. And like they're all dead, and then the Shaddolls come by and they resurrect them all. And like Gem Knight Lapis becomes like a conduit for like all the other Shaddoll monsters. I just feel real sorry for Lapis, and every time I look at Lapis I'm like, oh no, please, girl, no. Grand Horn of Heaven. During your opponent's main phase, when they would special summon a monster, negate the summon, and if you do, destroy that monster. Then your opponent draws a card, then end the main phase. Okay, that seems pretty good. If your opponent tries to special summon something, you can negate the special summon, and then destroy it, and then they draw a card. Okay, that's not necessarily good. Well, is it? Like, most monsters that are special summoned, like, you want to use this against a monster that's summoned from the extra deck, right? So, like, if it's let's say it's a rank, let's say you summon Utopia, which is a rank 4 Xyz monster, using 2 level 4 monsters on your field. Oh, on their field. They go into Utopia. You activate Grand Horn of Heaven. They've lost 2 cards to bring out Utopia. They gain Utopia, so that's net 1 card loss. And then you destroy Utopia, so that's net 2 cards lost. You lose Grand Horn of Heaven, so that's -1 for you, so a total of -1 for your opponent. And then your opponent draws a card, so it's net neutral. But it does destroy him. It does get rid of a troublesome monster. So it's an okay card, I think. Would be better if it didn't allow your opponent to draw, but, you know. Dizzying Winds of Yosen Village. Activate this card if you control a level 6 or higher Yosenju monster. While you have a Yosenju card in your Pendulum Zone, if a monster will be returned from the field to the hand by a card effect. Okay. Talking about spirits earlier, like, the Yosenju archetype is basically spirit monsters, but they're not spirit monsters. Which, you know, I view as cheating. Okay, we're nearly done with this pack, though. I feel like we need to get... What is it? We need to get one more... What the heck is this? Idaten the Conqueror Star? 2 level 5 or higher warrior monsters needed for the fusion summon. If this card is fusion summon, you can add 1 level 5 warrior monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, that's good. You can only use this effect of Identen. So this game isn't... Like, this game's been out for, like, I think a year or so now? So it's not got the, like, all the new cards. Like, there's some cards that aren't... I think it has up to a pack called Code of the Duelist. And let me see when Code of the Duelist was released. That'll tell you how many, like, how up to date this game is. When was this booster pack released? It was released in April 15, 2017. Really? Hold on. Legacy of the Duelist. Let's see. Card pool, I guess. I know it doesn't have all the cards. Like, based on what we're looking at here, it's got up to, like... It's got a lot of cards, like, more than probably any Yu-Gi-Oh game you played. But it doesn't have, like, the newest ones, and based on what I've read, like, that's from 2017? That can't be right. I feel like this game has more than, like, 2017. You can only use this effect once per turn. Once per turn, discard any number of cards. This card gain 200 attack for each card discarded. Okay. It's got 3000 attack, so you can bring it up to some pretty good attack. But it's already a fusion monster that requires, like, at least 3 cards. It gives you 1 back. That's, you know, like, net -2. And then this card comes out, so it's net -1. And then this card is basically, like, lose every card that you have. And then... you know, attack. Once per battle, during the damage calculation, if this card battles your opponent's monster with an equal or lower level, quick effect, you can make that opponent's monster 0 during that damage calculation only. Okay. Leo Dancer, we get first movement solo, which is a Melodious card. We've already got all of them. I think we're looking for Maestro. Which Maestro? We're looking for Mozarta. Melodious Diva? Melodious Maestro. Speaking of, we do get a Shofina, or Chopina. I'm trying to think how I can use this in the deck. This card does combo with Mozarta, and Mozarta is, you know, once per turn you can special summon a light fairy monster from your hand. Which is actually, like, very generic considering it's an archetype card. Whereas Chopina's effect is once per turn you can add a light fairy from your graveyard to your hand. So they both work together, and I think they're also both level 8, so you can use them to go into like a rank 8 play. What is this? A guy on the sea castrum. Like for instance, you go into this. Requires 2 level 8 monsters. Venture around and face down. Oh, this is the card that like destroys your opponent's extra deck and then can return it for bonuses. Attach an Xyz from this card, target one opponent's banished fusion Xyz or synchro monsters, return it to the extra deck, and if you do, destroy one monster your opponent controls of the same type. And once per turn during other player's turn, you can banish a card from the extra deck face down. Okay. We only have 5 cards left to get from this pack, and then we've got all the cards. Alistair, Invoker of Madness. We get another Bloom Prima, and we get a Gem Knight card. Let's see, Lunalight Tiger. I don't know what other cards we're missing here. I guess that's really the whole point, right? Frightfurs, I'm not sure if I want to make a Frightfur deck. I do like fusion decks, I won't lie. Probably because I'm an old school player and fusions have gotten quite a lot of support. Or at least a lot of archetypes that, you know, utilize the mechanic. Frightfur Chimera. Okay. Defense Tactics? Oh, Ancient Gear Reactor Dragon. Oh yeah, Ancient Gear monsters also got support. I feel like that's an archetype that was around when we played back in the day. Yeah, no, that was the Yu-Gi-Oh! GX era. So I feel like you definitely know of the Ancient Gear archetype. If this card that was tribute summoned by tributing an Ancient Gear monster attacks a defense position monster and inflict piercing damage. If this card was tribute summoned tributing a gadget monster, it can make a second attack during each battle phase. So if you tribute an Ancient Gear and a gadget monster, it gains 2 attacks and it pierces. If this card attacks, your opponent cannot activate. Okay, that's the typical Ancient Gear effect. At the end of the damage step, if this card attacks, you can destroy 1 spell track card on the field. Okay, so it's a boss monster. I'd like to see a list of... Oh yeah, I don't know where you would find that. I know every pack here has like a bunch of archetypes in. Like you can see, like Lunalight is an archetype, Gem Knights are an archetype, Fluffles are an archetype, and Predaplants are an archetype. And like every one of these packs have like different archetypes in them, right? Like let's say I'm just gonna go and open one for like to show. Let's do Yugi. Should have like a bunch of old cards that we remember. So it has like Buster Blader. Buster Blader is his own archetype. My face is covering the card, but you can see it over in the left there. Buster Blader has his own archetype now. There's a bunch of new Gaia Knight monsters, which is his own archetype. And then like you have Dark Magician archetype, which still keeps getting support. Like it's crazy. That and the Blue Eyes monsters are still getting support. And then you have additional support for Crystal Beasts and Heroes and all the like. Oh, we're out of money. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look in here. I feel like Athena really isn't helping us out. Score? We don't have any scores in our deck. This looks like a hand trap. During damage calculation on either player's turn, if a Melodious monster you control battles an opponent's monster, Send this card from your hand to the graveyard, change that opponent's monster's attack and defense to 0 until the end of the turn. Oh, interesting. Okay, that could be useful. Let's see, I want to try and add Shopina. Oh, Shopina's level 7. Is Mazarta level 7? Mazarta's level 8. Let's see. Why do we have 3 Sopranos? Let's get rid of Soprano. I want to add in... Let's add in a Shopina. You know what some of these do? I don't know, like, because of the delay, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Like, you're looking at a different part of the stream as to when I read your comment. So which one are you looking at? What are you talking about? Or are you talking about, like, this deck? I don't know. The deck. Yeah, like, Cards from the Sky I think is pretty old. Celestial Transformation is also pretty old. Defusion, well, you know, goes without saying. Let's see. Polymerization, of course, and Valhalla Hall of the Fallen is also a pretty old card, although you can't really see it with my face in the way. Oh, I guess you can see it down here. Yeah, no, like, I like this archetype because it works well with old cards that I'm pretty familiar with. Oh, there's also, what is it? I know you played Agents at one point, right? Like, let me go ahead and try and make one for you. Let's, sure, how do I empty? Empty deck. Yes, removal cards. Let's go ahead and do Agent. Yeah, okay. So there's some new Agent monsters as well. Like, you have the Agent of Entropy, Uranus. If Sanctuary in the Sky is on the field, you can special summon this card from your hand. Once per turn, send one Agent monster from your deck to the graveyard. And if you do, this card level becomes the level of that monster. Oh, I don't have, do I not have Big Guy? What's Big Guy's name? Hyperion. I don't have Hyperion, so I can't make the deck. Oops. But yeah, no, like, the Agents have a decent amount of synergy, or at least a decent amount of shared support cards with, what is it? With the, Melodious cards. Yeah, like, dude, I'd be so surprised, like, you say you forget them, I'd be so surprised if, like, you came to me one day just randomly and like, hey, do you remember the Agent deck in Yu-Gi-Oh? I'd be like, what kind of randomness is going through your head, man? Let's see. I don't think any of these others you'll be too familiar with. Like, I know you're familiar with Crystal Beasts. So you have, like, your usual Amber Mammoth, you know, Cobalt Eagles, Pegasus, and Carbuncles. They also get this new card here, which, you know, it's a Pendulum monster. It's a new type of card, relatively speaking. Not the newest type. Newest monsters introduced are Link monsters. But this is Pendulum. You can either activate it as a spell card or play it as a monster card, and then you read a different box depending on which one you use it as. But this card, it protects your Crystal Beast monsters and your Rainbow Dragon monsters from being destroyed by a card effects each turn. So it's pretty good. Also, the way that Pendulums work, you can, if you have, like, so there's 2 Pendulum monsters. You see that this one here has, like, 5 written over here, and you can also see it up here. Whereas this one has 2. If you have both of these in your Pendulum zones, which are the far left and far right zones of your spell and trap card zones now, they can also still be used as spell and trap card zones. You can then summon, like, a bunch of monsters with levels that are between 2 and 5, so you can do 3 and 4, and special summon them from your hand all at once, and from your extra deck if you... That's only for Pendulum monsters, you don't need to worry about that. For Crystal Beast, it doesn't matter. But, like, in the Crystal Beast deck, if you have both of those on the field, you can then, like, special summon, like, you know, anything in your hand that's between those levels. So it's real good for Crystal Beast, especially if you bring out, you know, Ruby Carbuncle, which will special summon all your other Crystal Beast monsters. This deck here that I've got, though, doesn't revolve around Ruby Carbuncle that much. The main goal of this deck is to use this card called Crystal Bond. Add a Crystal Beast monster from your deck to your hand and place a Crystal Beast monster with a different name from your deck face up in your spell and trap card zone as a continuous spell. So this searches out any Crystal Beast monster twice. One of them goes onto the field. One of them goes into your hand, the other one goes onto the field. So you use this, you do like Crystal Carbuncle on the field, then you add Sapphire Pegasus to your hand. You summon Sapphire Pegasus, search out something else, preferably one that you don't want to draw. Like, I typically go for Amethyst Cap because this effect really isn't great anymore. And I just want it out of the deck. And then that gets you, like, you've got 3 of your Crystal Beasts with 1 card already. Like, that's pretty crazy. Then you can go out into Rainbow Dragon pretty quickly, right? You still have your rare values, but this is the card that this deck, like, gets turbo in. So it's a trap card that can only be played when your Crystal Beast monster is destroyed by battle. So if you have this on the field, you can attack into something greater and destroy your Crystal Beast monster with this card. And then, once that condition is met, you can send 7 Crystal Beast cards with different names from your hand, deck, and or face up on the field to the graveyard, which is insane. Like, that's, you know, that's Rainbow Dragon. Like, this sets up Rainbow Dragon immediately, if you get this effect. But then you get to special summon an Ultimate Crystal Fusion monster from your deck. Because of, like, naming convention, they changed, like, even though Crystal, like, Rainbow Dragon is still called Rainbow Dragon, it's got a new effect, which is, like, it's always treated as an Ultimate Crystal card. And there's also this guy here, which is Rainbow Over Dragon, which is the Fusion Rainbow Dragon monster. And what this guy does is, you can either fusion summon it using all 7 Crystal Beast monsters somehow. If you do that, you're a mad lad, though. Like, that's pretty unwieldy. But the main way that you get this thing out is you tribute a Rainbow Dragon that you have on the field to bring it out. You don't use polymerization. And this card is, you banish a Crystal Beast monster from your graveyard. It gains attack equal to that monster's attack. Until the end of the turn. And during either player's turn, you can tribute this card to shuffle all cards on the field into the deck. Which is pretty good. What am I wanted to add something else here. But yeah, no, this card, like, this deck revolves around using, getting Ultimate Crystal Magic effect activated. The sooner that you do this, the better. Because then you get a 4,000 attack monster out. And yeah, it's including itself. But the great thing is, like, you can activate this on your opponent's turn, right? So if they try and make a play, or, like, they try and counter you, you can activate this card's effect, and then prevent them from doing anything else for, well, it clears their field, which is going to make it harder for them to do stuff. But yeah, no, it does shuffle everything back into the deck, which means that this card goes back into the extra deck. And you still, like, if you have a Rainbow Dragon in your hand still, like, you can summon it next turn because all of your Crystal Beasts are in the graveyard already, right? So yeah, that's the whole idea of this, is to get Rainbow Dragon out on the field as soon as possible. I do know that in Japan they have another Crystal Beast card, which is really good, and it's basically, it's called Rainbow Dragon the Zenith Crystal Beast. I can't bring it up on stream because I don't know how to do that right now, but its effect is ridiculous. Let me see if I can read it for you. Zenith Crystal Beast. Okay, this card is crazy. So it's a level 8 light dragon monster with 3,000 attack. If it is destroyed while it's in a monster zone, it goes into your spell and trap card zone like a Crystal Beast normally does, right? And while it's in your spell and trap card zone, it has an effect. And that effect is, you can banish this card to special summon a level 4 or lower Crystal Beast monster from your deck, but negate its effects if it has any. And if you do, add 1 Ultimate Crystal monster from your deck to your hand. So, if this card is, like, destroyed while you have it out on the field, you can banish it, search for a Crystal Beast monster, and then search for a Rainbow Dragon. It's pretty good. But the other effect that it has is when an attack is declared involving a Crystal Beast monster, so if if either you attack with a Crystal Beast monster, or your opponent attacks your Crystal Beast monster, you can just summon this card from your hand. Like, immediately. It's got 3,000 attack. And it's just like, no, you just summon it. It's crazy. It's not in this game, sadly, because it's not actually in the, it's not been released in England, or like, in English, should I say. So it's not in this game, but it's in the Japanese OCG. And once that card comes to the TCG, like, it just holds, like, it powers up Crystal Beast so much. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Right, but yeah, okay. I think actually, I've been speaking for a long time. I had a before you joined the chat, Kairos, I went on a huge rant about like card design in Yu-Gi-Oh, and like, so my friend, I mentioned this, but my friends in the other Discord have been getting me into Magic, so I've been playing a bit of that, and they're like pretty, or at least one person there, like pretty good at Magic. They're as good at Magic as, or they've been playing at Magic as long as we've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh, right? And he's like making comments, like I recently taught him Yu-Gi-Oh, and he's like, you know, the design is different between Yu-Gi-Oh and Magic. Like in Yu-Gi-Oh, sometimes it's difficult to tell how a card does the thing that it does. Like for instance, how does what is it about, like, you know, let's see if I can find an example. Like, what is it about Amber Mammoth that, you know, protects, you know, other monsters? I guess that's not a good idea. What is it about Ruby Carbuncle that allows it, like, look at this creature, and then tell me, like, from its design, how does this monster summon other Crystal Beast monsters, right? Like, it doesn't seem clear how the monsters do the things that they say they do. Another example, what would be another example? Like, Melodious, the deck we were playing is a good example. Like, how is it that, like, you know, Opera the Melodious Diva, how is it that when it's used for a fusion material, it protects everything? Magic, yeah, I know. The answer is magic. But it doesn't really make too much sense. Like, you can't look at this card. Like, look at this card artwork. It's a little girl singing, right? What is it about this creature? Like, it's just been fused together with something, right? Like, if it's singing a song, I guess, like, it could sing a song when it's being fusioned, and then, like, it protects your monsters for the rest of the turn or something like that. But it's no longer there to sing anymore, so why is it protection until the end of the turn? But in Magic the Gathering, like, a lot of cards do make sense with their effects. Like, the example I used earlier, there's this card called Young Pyromancer in Magic. It's a red card which is typically associated with fire. And Pyromancers themselves tend to do things when, like, a sorcery or an instant spell is cast. And they're basically, like, quick play Magic cards. So this Young Pyromancer, like, it's affected whenever a sorcery or instant card is played, you can create a 1/1 fire elemental token. And it makes sense. Like, you can see this thing doing it, right? He's young, he wants to impress people, so he summons fire elementals. And since he's a Pyromancer, his effect triggers when, you know, a spell and trap or spell card is activated, basically. So it makes sense. It seems continuous with the design. But that's not the case necessarily with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. There are archetypes that definitely do it well. Like, I know you're not familiar with these names. But I'll just go over these, because this is going to go onto YouTube as well. So in case anyone wants to, is watching this and wants to know what I'm talking about. Like, the, what is it? The Ghost Trick monsters. These guys here. They're all about, like, flipping themselves face down and then flipping themselves face up and having effects. And, like, yeah, they tend to do so. They, like, the whole idea is they like to scare people, right? But they're also weak, so they're not very confident in their own abilities. So they appear and then they hide. That's their thing. And they're flip effect monsters that can flip themselves face down. And when they're flipped face up, they have an effect. Like, that makes sense. Like, you can see each one of these monsters doing the things that's listed in their effects. But some other Yu-Gi-Oh monsters, it's not quite clear. Like, my favorite example are Trickstars, which you also probably aren't familiar with. But this is a Trickstar monster here. So look at this thing. Trickstars are based around, like, idols, right? Like Japanese idols or teen idols or whatever. They sing and they perform on stage. But if this card is special summoned, inflict 200 damage to your opponent for each card they control. Why? I don't know. It's just a thing that Trickstars do. It doesn't make sense. Like, it's just some magic that they have. But yeah, that was the rant that I went on earlier. Annoying voice? Okay, sure. They have an annoying voice, that makes sense. Maybe. I don't know. But with Trickstars, it's interesting because they're used by a character in the anime. So their design makes ears bleed. Okay. You know what? I think you've hit the nail on the head here. I think you absolutely have hit the nail on the head. But the Trickstars specifically, like, they're used by a character in the anime. So their design is based on what the writers and what the characters, what the writers want the character to do in the anime, right? So they kind of got that going for them in that they're, you know, they serve the characteristics of the character that plays them. Ironically enough, that character actually changes deck later on, so Trickstars don't stay around for long. But anyway, that's pretty much it. I've been going on for, like, what, almost 3 hours now, so I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here for the evening. I might be doing a stream tomorrow. You never thought of a card game in this way. It's only really come up in my mind because of Magic. Like, a lot of Magic cards you can look at and it makes sense based on what the creature is and what its effect does. Like, they're continuous. They seem continuous. Like, there's a whole bunch of monsters called Eldrazi, and they're basically like, you know, these, like, Call of Cthulhu-esque monsters that destroys and eats worlds. And they're like, you know, Eldritch Abominations. And they all have, like, effects that kind of resonate with that, right? I don't know a specific example off my head, but they just make sense. Like, another good example in Magic is there's an archetype called Elves. Not necessarily an archetype. They're like creatures called Elves. And their whole premise is they, you know, they swarm the field. They call other elves to the field and they're like, okay, we're going to fight this threat together. Like, that's what they do. Oh, Runeterra's like that as well. That's great. But yeah, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh definitely has it in occasion. But I feel like it's more prominent in Yu-Gi-Oh that it doesn't make sense. Like, as I mentioned with the ghost tricks from earlier. They're scaredy cats, but they like to scare people. So they flip themselves face up, scare people, flip themselves face down to protect themselves. Oh, that's fantastic. I do want to see it more often in Yu-Gi-Oh! Problem is, I wouldn't even call it a problem. I guess it's an observation. Like, there's there's a thing I like to call the waifufication of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, like, a lot more archetypes lately are, like, female archetypes based on, like, you know, magical girls, kind of. And then, like, how many... I don't even know how to say this, like... So, you know, like, this deck I'm playing, it's a waifu deck. Like, literally every creature in here is female. Right? Like, they can all be someone's waifu. Even Condemned Witch here. It's not a Melodious card, but, like, it's female, right? So, yeah. But, like, you know, how far can you explain things, like, how many things can, like, you know, magical girls do? The answer is infinite amount, but it does require some, you know, some stretching of the imagination. Like, I guess I can understand Melodious now that I've thought about it for quite some time. Their songs give them magic powers. Like, that's pretty much it. They do their best to match the champ designs and card design. Oh, fantastic. That's great. But, like, a good example, a good old school example, Man-Eater Bug. Man-Eater Bug, you flip it face up, right? It destroys a monster on the field. Makes sense, it destroys a monster. Like, it's a man-eating bug. It can also destroy monsters as well, you know, if it's not man. But I do have trouble, like, envisioning a Man-Eater Bug flipping face up against a Blue Eyes White Dragon, and the Man-Eater Bug destroying the Blue Eyes White Dragon. That just seems ridiculous. But it happens. And it's like, why? I don't know. It's a man-eating bug, and apparently, what, Blue Eyes is a man now? I don't know. Venomous, I guess. I guess. But then you have, like, Hain, right? Which, by the way, is pronounced Hane, which is hilarious. I don't know if I have it in here. I don't have that card in here. Okay, that's fine. But, or like Penguin Soldier. Do you know Penguin Soldier? Like, that's an old school card. Penguin Soldier. Do I have it? I do. Flip target 2 monsters on the field, return them to the hand. What does this thing do that returns 2 monsters to the hand? It doesn't make sense. Like, what? You flip it face up, 2 monsters go back to the hand. It's a little penguin with a sword. What? Ask nicely, I guess. I think this thing quacks nicely, though, so... I don't know. It's hilarious, but, like, you know, the discontinuous nature of some of these effects is a bit mind-boggling. But yeah, anyway, I think that's it. That's going to be it for me. I'm going to have to head off for now. I might be streaming tomorrow, but I'll be coming back from work, so I'll probably definitely be streaming the day after. What day would that be? Wednesday. So if I'm not streaming tomorrow, I'll be streaming on Wednesday. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming by and joining me and listening to me talk about Yu-Gi-Oh! Card design. I did want to do some story missions today, but, you know, more pressing matters happened. More rants about, like, Yu-Gi-Oh! Card designs came across, so, yeah. But yeah, hope your work goes okay tomorrow, Kairos. And, yeah, I'll talk to everyone later. Enjoy your evening or whatever. See you all.